Welcome, friends, to the Confused Breakfast, the podcast where we hit pause on the chaos of today and rewind to a simpler time when it wasn't about convenience, it was about the experience. Remember the magic of a Friday night trip to the video rental store? Wandering the aisles, making the big decision of what movie was going to come home with you.
You're looking for me.
We're all part of the last generation that knows the joy of the search, the snap of the plastic clamshell. We're here to revisit the movies that shaped us and defined our childhoods. My name is Mike Schulte. Joining me, as always, two dudes who are methodical, exacting, and worst of all, patient. Sean Pryor and AJ Vance, how the heck are ya?
We've been doing this for 5 years.
Yeah.
You gotta do something. You gotta have something to stand on, some sort of moral ground.
And finally, we've come to our masterpiece.
Come.
And if you're watching the YouTube, I have the greatest shirt on known to man.
Yep.
Well,
And
boys,
that was a Goodwill find?
Goodwill.
Yeah.
Like 20 years ago. I saved it for this moment.
Jesus Christ.
I don't think I ever wore it in public.
I think you have.
Hopefully cameras don't auto
I
lock on
I think you've worn it on the show.
It has to be. I hope it doesn't keep auto locking on Brad Pitt's face, the handsome ass bitch.
Cameras just focus in on his face.
Well, boys, on today's episode, we discuss the 20th highest rated movie on IMDb. Nominated for only one Oscar, this movie was voted the 8th scariest film of all time by Entertainment Weekly, spending 4 consecutive weeks at the top of the U.S. box office, and was eventually the 7th highest grossing film of the year. We're, of course, talking about 1995's Se7en.
Well, dang it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's
Six,
time
seven.
for another nostalgic journey to the past with the Confused Breakfast. Sit back, relax, and enjoy wherever you are in the world. Take it away, boys.
A movie about a talking pig called Babe was nominated for Movie of the Year over this that year. I just want to let you know something that doesn't make sense.
It was nominated or it won over this?
It was nominated. This movie wasn't even nominated.
Oh, good.
As Movie of the Year.
Okay.
But what does make sense is us partnering with our friends Big Grove Brewery. Our beer of the episode, I went with the 1939 Amber Ale because I feel that while Somerset's being all high class with his red wine, this is definitely the beer that comes out of Mill's fridge when he's winding down at the end of the night.
Definitely.
Easy choice.
Easy.
Makes a lot of sense.
1930, bright copper amber ale. Now I want to put that in my throat. I tell you that.
Well, cheers.
about
Let's
to.
put it in our throat. Check out Big Grove. Learn more later in the episode. Boys,
Cheers.
we did a Patreon vote for this. Once a month, if you're a beautiful Patreon member, you get to vote on an upcoming movie that we're going to do. We gave 6 spooky movies. 7 ran away with it. 41% of the vote. The Faculty, 29%. Got to do that one next year. Signs, 14%. Friday the 13th, 8%. 28 Days Later, 4%. I Know What You Did Last Summer, 1 vote, and that was Sean.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you don't like this, the only way to fix it is to go to patreon.com/confusedbreakfast. Join up. Vote on upcoming movies.
And good job.
I'll
you
say
have
it,
voted a good one.
I'll say it every single time. It's your fault. If you're listening to this, it's your fault that this has happened. So just want you to know that.
Well, we're going to review 7 scene by scene, strictly with a modern eye, but we believe we need to start with nostalgia first. Talk about it the first time we saw it, what our thoughts were back in the day. Sean, what did you think about this movie the first time you saw it?
First time I saw it, I have brought this up before, but 100 Scariest Movie Moments on Bravo. This was one of them. It was the gluttony scene. Sloth scene. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is that movie? And I had to go out and check it out. And that sent me down the rabbit hole of David Fincher films. So what I thought about it then, it scared me. It felt gross. I think I actually got like a stomachache while watching it just because it just felt bad. So I'm going to say a 7.9.
So good, but not amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, AJ, I know you saw this movie. What were your thoughts on it back in the day?
Yeah, dude. Totally.
Like 5 years old? Or
So I tried to catch this one as soon as I could.
I went to the theaters.
I caught it in theaters in 1995, so I was 6 years old. Went in by myself. I was like, I just need peace and quiet when I watch this movie. I need to focus. This is David Fincher. I'm 6 years old. And I never saw this movie. I avoided it like the frickin' plague. I had a friend who, in all seriousness, in like 7th grade or something like that, I want to say, I had a friend who was like, remember when I told you guys about how I didn't want to watch that movie like Zero Chill or like Below Zero or whatever it is?
Yeah.
It's like the same friend. I thought he was going to try to show me like a scary movie because he would talk about this movie all the time.
Wow.
And so he told me about like the ideas and the scenes, and I thought it was much crazy. We'll get to it. Much crazier than like what it turned out to be. So I'm an NA though, guys. Never seen.
Dang.
I didn't catch this when it came out, but this was one of those first movies I started going out seeking and purchasing when I was in college. When you're updating your DVD collection to seem cultured in the dorm room.
Oh, yeah.
7 was definitely a movie I picked up, bought it, or I think we rented it at Blockbuster, loved it, immediately took it, went to Best Buy, bought the DVD. 7 is easily, I'm going to call it an 8.5 first time I saw it. Spooky.
Wow.
Big Brad Pitt fan at the time because Fight Club had already been out by the time I saw 7. So I was like, let's go.
Look at the big fan on Brad. All right.
NicMad, executive producer today, says, I imagine I'm in the minority of people who saw 7 after David Fincher's production of Fight Club, which I'd argue was a better film, but also made viewing 7 for the first time harder to appreciate. And maybe it was seeing Brad Pitt fumble around dirty and often claustrophobic backdrops in a busy city setting that made it difficult to not compare the two films at the time. Accompanied by Fincher's now iconic work of greenish hues was also the plot twist ending, which ultimately left me feeling disappointed. Yeah, he beheaded your pregnant wife. What husband isn't going to absolutely smoke you into oblivion? Morgan Freeman is great as a detective Somerset, which leads the story as he always does by playing a wiser, more calm and calculated character than his co-star. It had become such a classic Morgan Freeman trope at the time that I'm honestly surprised the film wasn't titled Morgan Freeman Solves a Murder. Ultimately, I was left feeling like I had just watched an overall decent film, but one that merely coasted on its dark and gritty theme. So nostalgically, a little lowly on a 6.4. We will find out what he thinks about it modern day, same as all of us, but as a nostalgic rating, we are a 7.6 together, my friends.
Okay.
Not great, but also pretty good. 7.6 is going to tie in the 79th spot with Encino Man.
Yeah.
Of course.
Strictly nostalgic.
No, that makes a lot of sense, actually. It's basically Encino Man.
No matter what movie we cover on this show, we will always get back to Encino Man.
Yeah.
At some point, we'll get back to Encino Man.
It comes full circle.
Yeah.
Okay. Starts at the beginning. And by the way, I stopped listening because all I could think about then was just Morgan Wallen now in the role of Somerset.
I think he'd do great.
I think he'd be fine. I think he'd be gritty enough, but I think it would be a much more fun Out of Fish story of him being in the big city.
Yep.
So there you go.
Yes. Yeah.
You know that Out of Fish story.
The Out of Fish.
The Out of Fish story.
I'm out of fish once again.
Shit, I'm out of fish.
Logan's dying.
Classic
That's
trope.
what I mean. Morgan Wallen would run. I bet he runs into that problem all the time. Shit, I'm out of fish.
Darn, I'm out of fish.
Luckily, you're in the big city. You can go down to the fish store.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on to our modern day discussion. Sean's going to get us all the important details of the movie. What do you got, brother?
Produced by Arnold Kopelson and Phyllis Carlisle, written by Andrew Kevin Walker. He also wrote 8mm. Movie called Brain Scan, Sleepy Hollow, the Tim Burton one, the Wolfman remake, Windfall, and David Fincher's most recent film, The Killer. Cinematography by Darius Kanji. He also did Delicatessen, The Ninth Gate, The Beach, Panic Room, Funny Games remake, Lost City of Z, one of the best looking movies of all times, Uncut Gems, Mickey 17, and Eddington as most recent.
The Beach Mike. You're supposed to say Mike.
Oh, The Beach. Mike, The
cool.
Beach.
Nice.
Funny Games?
Well, yeah.
Okay. Music by Howard Shore. He also did After Hours, Big, The Silence of the Lambs, Mrs. Doubtfire, That Thing You Do, The Game, High Fidelity, and The Lord of the Motherfucking Rings trilogy.
Peter Jackson.
Yeah. Edited by Richard Francis Bruce. He's big here. Shawshank Redemption, The Rock, Air Force One, Harry Potter 1, Ghost Rider. Just some of the movies we've covered, except for Shawshank.
There's just not much going on there.
Nope.
Man.
Directed by the man himself, David Fincher. He's done Fight Club, The Game, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Panic Room, The Killer, among others, including the upcoming Further Adventures of Cliff Booth.
I'm excited for that.
The Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sequel. I'm just so fucking excited. Cast: Morgan Freeman, Brad Pitt, Gwyneth Paltrow, she's back, our queen, John Cassini, Peter Crombie, R. Lee Ermey, Hawthorne James, Richard Roundtree, John C. McGinley, Mark Boone Jr., Michael Massey, Richard Schiff, Leyland Orser, Bob Stevenson, our buddy, and Kevin Spacey. Writer Andrew Kevin Walker was a struggling screenplay writer in New York, working for various productions as a PA, some including some trauma films. After being able to write a few feature scripts for the company, one including Brain Scan, and enduring the misery that was late 80s, early 90s New York, Walker was inspired to write his spec script for Seven. Feeling like his script had a little more gravitas than his trauma scripts, Walker shopped it around to various studios. He was miserable in New York. We can't gloss over it. He was in New York. The conditions at the time were just bad, just awful.
The writer was?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, New York in the 90s sounds dope.
I just saw I saw Secret of the Ooze. I was like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Look
Pizza
at all
on
the
every
fun
corner.
shit that's happening around here.
Join the Foot Clan. Do something. Get out and join an organization, buddy.
Yeah.
We have to remember those are movies, so sometimes.
New York is a movie set. Okay.
It really is.
That's it.
We'll get to that, actually. New Line Cinema was interested in the script and immediately told Walker to change the ending with the head in the box. Meanwhile, New Line had a director lined up for the project, that being Jeremiah Chechik, the director of Christmas Vacation, as he wanted to break out of comedies. Chechik also wanted Walker to change the ending, so he did. When Chechik wasn't working out, New Line sent the script to an up-and-coming and visually striking music video / commercial director who swore off making features after the disaster that was his first film, Alien 3. That director, of course, David Fincher. Fincher received the script and reluctantly read it and was blown away by the darkness in it, saying specifically the ending was a bummer and he loved it. The ending was dark, you asked. I thought Walker rewrote it, you said. Fincher was accidentally sent the first draft with the head in the box. So he rewrote the script and obviously it didn't have it in the head in the box, but somehow Fincher received the first draft, which did have the head in the box. Fincher then said the only way he would do the movie was if the ending stayed the same.
Thank God.
New Line, thinking they could eventually convince Fincher, otherwise hired the director. Sylvester Stallone was interested in the project, and Denzel Washington passed on it, but because he was busy. Heartthrob Brad Pitt accepted the role, and production was shortened from 13 weeks to 5 to accommodate his schedule. Fincher was shocked when Morgan Freeman read the script and loved it and wanted to do it after Gene Hackman, Al Pacino, and Robert Duvall declined the role. Christina Applegate and Robin Wright were up for the role of Tracy, but after Pitt suggested Gwyneth Paltrow, she accepted.
They were dating at the time, too, I thought.
I think they started dating on this movie.
Okay. I
think. You might be right, though. Ned Beatty was the original choice envisioned for the role of John Doe.
Oh, damn.
But he declined. They thought he looked like the sketch that the Zodiac Killer did.
Oh, okay.
Like what the sketch that eventually came out. They thought Ned looked like him, so they're like, "Come on in, dude." Michael Stipe, the singer for REM, was considered as well. I can kind of see that.
He's talented. I've seen him in a few things. He could have pulled it off.
I mean, that's me in the corner.
I envy you.
Taking off my fingertips. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Val Kilmer was also up for the role, but Kilmer declined. R. Lee Ermey auditioned for the role, but eventually played the police captain, all before Kevin Spacey accepted the role, as production had already began. Filming took place entirely in Los Angeles, believe it or not. With the help of very skillful location scouts, production design, and of course rain towers, the filmmakers were able to achieve a look of an unnamed yet familiar city. The studio still wanted a happier ending and tried time and time again to get Fincher to change it, but not only would he not budge, but neither would Brad Pitt or Morgan Freeman. Both actors had it in their contracts that they would not do the movie if the ending was changed. Seven was New Line's most expensive production at the time due to Fincher's insistence and tenacity. Se7en was released on September 22nd, 1995, and on a budget of 33 to 34 million, the greasy, grimy, depressing head-in-the-box film made 327.3 million at the box office, making it the 7th biggest hit of the year. Was
They
nominated.
planned that.
Oh yeah, nominated for best editing at the Oscars and secured Fincher's future in further projects. A sequel was suggested and would involve Somerset having psychic powers, but Fincher said he'd rather burn his own eye out with a lit cigarette than make, let alone see that come to fruition.
Well, the sequel was obviously the newest Batman trilogy, where
Yep.
Somerset continued to want to like do good, and he became Lucius Fox. And
Right.
yeah, I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
It's
because it's Gotham.
this takes place in Gotham.
This
City.
takes place in Gotham.
This is in Gotham. Yeah, You're right.
Move on.
It's totally.
AJ,
What?
hook us up with all the reviews and ratings from critics and fans alike. Let's go.
Well, hey, just because these fuckers got a library card and a Rotten Tomatoes account doesn't make them Yoda. It's the tomato meter.
Gross.
Pretty disgusting at 84% putrid certified fresh.
It's actually surprising it's that low, and interestingly enough, tied in the 84th spot of any movie we've done with The Thing, and Born Identity. I
I'm
wrote
gonna-
The Thing twice.
Nice.
Thing and the Thing.
Actually, the first one says The Things, and then the second one says The Thing.
Two different movies, totally.
Yeah, totally.
The Thing you do.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. It's worth two mentions. All right. Yeah, so the 84% there, 95% super high up there on the popcorn meter. And we shoot on over to IMDb, 8.6.
Of all the movies we've done, tied in the 7th highest spot with Saving Private Ryan and Silence of the Lambs.
There needs to stop being so many number coincidences like in this movie, okay?
It's kind of crazy.
Oh,
Just
the
throwing it out there.
seventh most
Seventh.
grossing. Oh, the seventh highest on For Confused Breakfast. Oh, 84%. Oh. All right.
It's spooky, man.
You're right.
It's
You're right.
spooky.
Let's see. Rick Groen, the Globe and Mail, called it intriguing, appalling, savvy, nasty, grossly unsettling. You may not like what you see, but you'll definitely be affected by the sight. Roger Ebert called it a dark, grisly, horrifying, and intelligent thriller. 88% there, 88 out of 100 there. And then you've got some bad ones. David Anson gave it a 50 at Newsweek. Style so chic, studied, and murky, it resembles a cross between a Nike commercial and a bad Polish art film.
All right.
Actually, that's kind of perfect.
I kind of love it.
That's why we love it. That's not why we hate it.
Exactly.
It's like all we needed was like some shots of Brad Pitt chasing John Doe with Nike shoes on.
just
We
do it.
had it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. And lastly, Janet Maslin, the lowest one we had here, 30 out of 100 from the New York Times, said not even bags of body parts, a bitten off tongue, or a man forced to cut off a pound of his own flesh keep it from being dull. I don't think you're still reviewing movies.
It just cuts to a picture of Gwyneth Paltrow, but the Nike swoosh is like cutting her neck.
Jesus.
And it says, "Just do it."
Just do it. I got a couple of these shorties, guys. 9 out of 10, a film that scars. David Fincher once said, I don't know how much movies should entertain. To me, I'm always interested in movies that scar. The thing I love about Jaws is the fact that I've never gone swimming in the ocean again. Well, 7 gave me a scar, and wow, what a scar. Because it's so dark and so scary that I kept thinking about it for days, not to mention while walking out of the cinema. So if you haven't seen this one yet, all I can say is, I envy you.
Whoa.
Nice.
Gotcha. One more over here. This is a 1 out of 10. Not worth wasting a couple hours of your life on, said Rickman 2 in 1999. Warning, spoilers. After just an hour in the cinema, I decided I didn't care if all the main characters were killed, and I was hoping Brad Pitt would be. I only saw the entire film on TV after a friend insisted it was good. All I can say is they lied to me. Too dark to see clearly, a ripoff of Theater of Blood without the humor. Yet another unconvincing performance from Pitt, who may be pretty, but hasn't acted for years.
What?
Just let him cook.
Rickman too. So Alan Rickman already had
Yeah.
an account.
I think he was just bitter he wasn't in the movie.
Sure.
Well, guys, I wanted to save plenty of time because we got lots. Our Little Lebowski Urban Achievers is growing, guys. You might as well jump in and take part in it as well.
Thank you so much.
Exclusive Discord channel. We'll get your reviews in here. We got some going through. Let's make it. Wes Clark. This was actually a recent watch for me. I told my friends that I have never seen the movie, and he immediately said, "Well, that's what we are watching then." Unfortunately, I had a sense of the ending because of pop culture. What's in the box is such an iconic line. So of course, but I didn't really know what was in the box. Honestly, I was so surprised how this movie just grabbed me and kept my attention. I love the plot and the characters. Brad Pitt just makes you feel all the emotion with that ending. Kevin Spacey plays such a great part for as little of the movie he is in. I would totally rewatch this again. I feel like it kind of needs to be rewatched. It definitely deserves it. Nostalgia, NA, modern, 8.
Nice.
Jason B, what up? I first saw this movie in the late 90s when no one I knew had seen it. Grabbing it from my local video rental store after seeing the front cover of the tape, Red from the Shawshank Redemption and that pretty boy from that all the girls at school love. Yeah, go on. This was the first movie that had me captivated by the opening credits. Couldn't say how many times I rewound them to watch again. And the remix of Closer also started my love of Nine Inch Nails.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It was also the first film to really shock me with the ending, and I remember being really upset when I realized what John Doe had done. Thank God they used the ending they did, as the alternatives that were on the DVD special feature were horrible. I still watch this every year or so and recommend it to anyone who hasn't seen it. Even after all these years, it's still my favorite Fincher film, and I feel like I enjoy it more as time goes on. 8.5 and an 8.9. LU638 Welder. 1995, I was in my final year of middle school. Oh, man, this hits hard. Hits hard for me. I'm pretty sure this movie ended up as a Friday night rental, as the theaters in New Jersey back in the 90s would ID anyone who looked young enough to not be accompanied by an adult. Needless to say, 13-year-old me was fascinated by this movie. The internet was beginning to become increasingly more popular. AOL and ICQ were the preferred method of communication, and surfing the web was a new and exciting experience. I remember that our group of goth and punk nuts were also extremely in tune to the website rotten.com, which was the way we were exposed to the macabre before reels would randomly target them to like today.
Yeah. That's why I left TikTok.
I don't know. Yeah. With that in mind, the insanity of the horrors of Se7en fit into our pop culture perfectly. The way the sins were crafted were unreal. Each murder scene was increasingly more disturbing. The cast was unbelievable. Pitt played off Morgan Freeman so perfectly, but by the end of the film, the stakes of what was in the box were devastating. The villain of this film is played by Spacey, perfectly done. The right amount of genius and psycho that most actors could overplay. The cinematography was so excellent. This might be the first movie that made me realize that movies have color schemes and emotional tones created by things like weather and cleanliness. Mm-hmm. You felt the awfulness of each set piece. Nostalgia, 7.8. Modern, 8.1. Alex Navarro, jumping in. This is one movie you want to rewatch because you remember how good it is. But then as you rewatch it, you remember how disturbing it is too, in more ways than one. Yet, yes, it's gruesome, but it's also a brutal reminder how evil people can become. Crazy how Kevin Spacey is so good at playing an absolute creep. 7.8 and 8.7. Thanks for the picture on there too, Alex. The AI picture. We love that. You guys have to join the exclusive channel if you want to check it out.
I'm posting that. Don't you worry.
Oh, okay. Well, you don't. Sean's going to give it away.
You'll see it.
Last one here, guys. Scuba Steve, friend of the show, common poster in the Little Lebowski. Ever since I saw Seven for the first time, it becomes a go-to every spooky season. It's a masterclass in dark atmospheric storytelling. The pacing, the atmosphere, twists, and turns, all top-notch. When I rewatched the movie this time around, my fiance watched it with me, and she hadn't seen it before. When you get to the iconic "What's in the box" line, she laughed because the line just becomes an internet meme now. And honestly, that is a little annoying. It takes away from the raw shock of the scene that originally had, in my opinion. Even though I feel like Brad Pitt's performance is a little uneven and sometimes falls flat, I still love this movie. I think the word that comes to mind when watching this movie is unforgettable because it sticks with me. And no matter how many times I see it, sloth still gets me every time. 9.3, 8.8.
These are all fans of our show that have joined the Little Lebowski tier at patreon.com/confusedbreakfast. If you want to do that too, go check it out.
Become a friend of the show.
Become a true friend.
Yeah, not just a fan. Anyway.
Well, boys, Ernest Hemingway once said the world is a fine place and worth fighting for. And as a podcast, we agree with the second part. Because today we're diving into Seven, the grimiest, rain-soaked murder mystery ever made. This movie has a top 10 movie quote of all time and gives us some of the best performances of these actors' careers. So let's put on our trench coats, return our library book of Paradise Lost, and head out looking for that asshole realtor who sold us this apartment. Here we go. Scene 1. Veteran detective Somerset prepares to retire. His replacement, Detective David Mills, arrives eager but hot-headed. Their first case together is gruesome. An obese man who's been forced to eat until his stomach bursts, with the word gluttony scrawled nearby. Somerset suspects something larger and symbolic, but his request to be reassigned is denied. The next day, they find a second victim, a wealthy defense attorney forced to cut a pound of flesh from himself, marked greed, confirming Somerset's theory of a serial killer inspired by the 7 deadly sins.
I love how this just starts out. Like there's, I guess no intro credits until a little bit later, but we just see Morgan Freeman getting ready, or Somerset getting ready in his apartment, and right off the bat, like I love the kind of layout of his stuff that he brings with him. He's got his knife, he's got his badge, I think his keys, and he's got his like wallet, and there's like a piece of like something on his wallet, and that's supposed to be like a place that he was looking at. Like he cut out the wallpaper in it and just had it as a reminder of like I need to get out of here kind of thing. Like that's my future. So he kept it with him. They took that, I think
whole scene out.
Yeah, they deleted that scene, but I like that that's there, just as a tulpa really for Somerset to motivate himself to further get out of here. I just love this.
It's such a fun theme that they talk about this whole time, just this idea of like how bad of a place this is, and that Somerset's like, yeah, why are you here? I gotta get out of here, but yet he hasn't.
Yeah,
he's been here this whole time. He could have easily gone somewhere else, but he's chosen not to. And like, it really is a cool, I noticed so many things this time around that I never noticed before, that is just such a subtle detail of Fincher, showing that Somerset has been so accustomed to this place that when him and Mills meet for the first time, there's that great shot of them walking down the street. I never noticed that till now. Somerset perfectly walks down the sidewalk, never bumps into anyone, and Mills is just bam, bam, boom, like he's just running into everybody, which is such a like subtle detail of, yeah, Somerset's been here. He knows this place. You just got here. You got some learning to do.
It's genius blocking because Somerset's ahead of him.
Yeah.
And then when Mills is like, no, dude, like you've read my shit, right? And he kind of goes ahead of Somerset now. And then eventually, Somerset goes ahead of him again, and he's taller in the frame as it's a still shot. Just brilliant, like right off the bat.
Right off the bat,
extremely subtle, like give of the power of a power struggle. Mm-hmm. It's an extremely subtle power struggle that we get to see that you don't really catch, and like you say, Mills is green. Somerset's been here before. He knows this terrain. Like it's like it's a walk in the park for him, whereas it's a struggle for Mills every step of the way, quite literally.
The Brad Pitt stuff, like in all this stuff where Brad Pitt's character is trying to establish himself with this other cop, like, you you didn't check for vital signs. He's trying to like be this badass. He's telling Somerset stories about, I'll never tell you the time I did this. Somerset tells him to be quiet, and that shot, like, people will talk about Brad Pitt's acting in this, but I think it's incredible because that shot where he says, "Could you be quiet?" Brad Pitt's like you can tell he's been working at the stuff he's gonna say on day one.
It's like he's formulated it. Yeah,
he's like, "This is how it's gonna be. I'm gonna tell these funny stories, and I'm gonna drop these stupid one-liners as if this is like a cliche cop TV show, like we got ourselves a homicide,
Yeah.
But he's told to shut up and then eventually leave, and he's so mad that this didn't go the way he wanted it to. I think it's incredible.
Yeah, he very much is like that's a really good way to put it. It's like, I got to make sure I hold my own amongst all these other hardened, homicide guys.
Yeah.
Well, I've done homicide for 5 years. Not here, you haven't. This is fucking Gotham, okay? So don't worry about it. Like, just come along for the ride. I got 7 days left. Pay attention. You might learn something.
You asked to be transferred here? Thought I could do some good. Like, brother.
Well.
Oh, man, you're green.
Bro, we don't have lights inside of any of our houses or places. This is a different place. It rains and none of our light bulbs work.
Every light in this station flickers. Okay? There isn't a new piece of equipment in here since 1982. Okay? Like, and that's true. Every stick of furniture in this place looks like it is 20 years old from that time.
And musty.
And musty.
Everything.
And it's been sat on and farted on, even the desks. Like, everything. But no, like, this movie kind of kicks you in the face right away. It kind of sets you up right away. It's my first time watching it. I have to do the kind of trick with myself that I'm doing something while I watch this the first time, because I don't know what to expect, other than the fact of all the over-the-top details that my friend would give me for no reason. And some of the things he said weren't even in this movie. So I don't even think you saw it, Matt. Fuck. But no, you kind of get kicked off with this, and you also realize, though, that as much as I feel like we respect Somerset as an audience, you feel like he's not as much respected by some of the other people in this.
Correct.
On this police force.
Yeah. Because I think he's very exacting. I think he's almost, in a way, like John Doe. He's very detail oriented. He gets to the psychology of what he's doing. He worries about other people, even though he says he really doesn't like people in a way. Like in the first murder scene, which actually the dead body is Andrew Kevin Walker, the writer, and he says where's the girl? He's like, shut the fuck up, Somerset. Like, we're all glad you're fucking leaving. It's like, it was a simple, like, human question, brother. Like, what the fuck?
And that's the thing. I feel like Somerset, after all this time and finally retiring, he still holds that humanity.
He does.
Where these other cops are there, it's a paycheck.
They lost.
They don't care.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
That's what I think is so interesting about Somerset in a way of his character, is that he is very cynical about this place now, and like puts that front on. Like the bar scene later is like one of my favorite scenes, as we'll get to, but I think he's holding back and then the reason he hasn't left yet really is because I think he thinks if he does leave, it'll get worse.
Of course. He's like the only guy kind of trying
exactly
hard.
And I think he doesn't want to believe that, and as we'll get to later in the bar scene. But I love when they go to the Spaghetti Man house, the gluttony, right? And Somerset's got coffee. And
can I stop you right there? Why'd you have to call it that?
The Spaghetti Man?
Like, it's
a really easy way to let our audience know what scene we're talking about.
Is it?
Yeah.
And so it's common then. I know I'm late to the party, never seen it.
Spaghetti Man.
In the spooky movie. We just call this the Spaghetti Man house. Is that what we call it? This is called in pop culture and your nerd freaking sex.
What?
Sex.
Sex.
Not with a T.
Okay.
CT. Not yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Colts. Sorry.
Colt. Yeah.
Nerd Colts.
My wife did ask me if I wanted spaghetti, like for dinner after this. I'm
No.
like, what are you doing?
Absolutely not.
Right now? I love how he has 2 coffees.
you
Like
kidding?
he's going to give a coffee to Somerset, and when he refuses it, he puts it on the stoop or whatever, and then they walk in, and because Somerset didn't take the coffee, he gives his coffee to the cop. Mills gives his coffee to the cop. I think he's subtly kind of like, oh well, Somerset, I'm going to follow his.
He's
his
mirroring
tracks.
him.
Drink coffee.
Exactly.
He's
yes.
like, oh, I won't drink. Maybe there's a reason he's not drinking coffee
Yeah.
before we go in here or something, jittery or soming. Yeah, that's a good point. He's
And
kind of mirroring him.
Again, with Fincher, I think I said it in Fight Club. I love his B actors. I love his like background kind of actors. Like even this beat cop who he gives a hard time to. He's like, he's been sitting in his own piss and shit. If he was alive, he would have gotten up by now. Okay, and Mills is giving him a hard time. He gives him his coffee. He's like, all right, thanks. I don't know. There's something that adds so much to a place when you fill it with these characters. You know what I mean?
There's and I will say this about everybody, including Somerset. Everybody in this, except for Mills, always feels like they know something that he and we do not. Every single person. There's a lingering, like I think it happens on that cop who takes the coffee. It's like a lingering shot of him looking at Mills.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you could just take it as like, well, there's that kind of new guy. He's like, I don't even know who that guy was, but I guess
They come down the steps
but
at
the
one
same-
point, and this cop going up the steps kind of stops and looks back at
Yeah.
all of them as they
Right.
walk by. Very ominously.
And that's again, I might be playing this kind of throughout the whole episode here, but like from the moment that Somerset tells Mills, when he says, I worked homicide for 5 years, but the moment he says, not here, then I'm like, everybody else is in on this.
Yeah.
I spent like 2 or 3 watches thinking that pretty much the whole time.
Well, you have to believe that kind of everyone's. I mean, he's already, even Somerset's like paying money under the table
Correct.
for stuff and has been doing it for a long time. You can't trust anybody with information.
Yeah. Like he's saying how like it's real easy for the press to get information from police officers in the station, paying them off or
Someone
paying for
gave
info.
John Doe Mills's address.
They pay well.
Yeah.
Who was it?
It literally could have been anyone.
We don't have to talk about it now, but I mean, there has to be a theory out there that it was Somerset.
Ooh, I don't.
Nah, I don't
No.
think so.
He wouldn't know. He just wanted the money. I'm just saying. Is he a white knight or is he like a, I'm just saying. I'm throwing that out there. We'll get there.
It's hard.
It's hard.
for me.
You're going to hard sell on that one.
Yeah.
I'll keep selling.
But yeah, the lines like, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a homicide." It's so like because he does like every time he says something like Serpico, like he like does a little dance, and Somerset just looks over at him like, "The fuck, dude." And this precinct to Arlie Ermy I think this is one of my favorite performances of Arlie Ermy as the captain.
When he answers
I
the
agree.
phone,
This ain't even my desk.
nobody else could have said that.
Can
Why
I-
did you even answer it?
And I just got to say, I love this. You said this performance, but like him in this role, I love it because he's not the Arlie Ermy we know. He's pretty tame, and
Yeah.
he plays it really, really good. I think he gets a kind of a nice little moment to shine here every now and again in this movie. That's not saying outlandish bullshit at people. You know what I
very
mean?
true.
So
And the power dynamics of course too of like Mills being reassigned and Somerset being forced to stay on, and he's like, "Sorry, old buddy, like you got to do this one," And I do like that he's assigned to another thing that is also a John Doe murder. We just don't know it yet
Yeah.
until right now with Greed. And this seems like where the Batman got everything from the Riddler.
It has to be, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and it's such a, you just mentioned that it's such a cool premise of a movie that your longtime awesome guy doesn't want to take this case because he doesn't want to start something he can't finish because he can sense that this will be a big deal, but they're making him stay on. So he wants to get it finished so that he can actually have it done by the time he retires. And then you got the new guy that will take anything he can possibly get, but he's in way over his head on this one. Like he cannot. This is not the right case for him.
But there's also no convincing him that he's not. You know what I mean? That he's not ready for it. You can't tell him that.
And even if he knows he's not ready for it, he can't say that he's not ready for it.
Very true. Yeah.
And
what's he gonna do? He's gonna say no, and then he never get assigned to something like this again.
One of the shots of the movies is when Brad Pitt goes into that second crime scene, and we don't really know what's going on. We got the guys like down on the floor. He's like, "Yeah, why don't you guys go get a coffee?" And then that's when it pans out to show the enormity of the scene, and Brad Pitt's just going like, I'm in over my head.
It's like the overwhelm.
He knows. He's like, I can't. Yeah. There's no way I can do this.
Yeah. I like that you actually mentioned that reference, Sean, of like the Riddler in the new Batman or whatever. It's very, very much very spot on. It's so. And I honestly watching when I saw that, you know, and now watching this, it probably helped me be able to watch this a little bit like without.
It's just Batman, dude.
It's just.
Hey, don't worry. It's
the
Batman.
moment I heard the Gotham thing, I was like, this is like Gotham.
It's just Gotham.
It'll be okay.
Everything's gonna be.
It's
fine.
gonna be fine. And then we see Spaghetti Guy, and you're like,
Ooh,
the barbed wire
God
man,
dang,
pound
no.
of flesh guy. Yeah. It starts to get really, really grisly pretty fast. And again, this movie was always described to me as being so like vicious and over the top. Probably helped me kind of, over expect. I guess
it's not really.
They don't show you a ton of the acts.
We don't see any of the murders.
We don't see any of them.
Yeah.
No, we don't actually see someone being killed until the very end.
Right.
Specifically by John Doe. Like all of these 7 Deadly Sin murders, we don't see a single one of them. We just see the aftermath, yeah.
That's a good point. And then, so yeah, it's one of those things that I was fully prepared to be like in total gross out mode. But again, they don't really show you anything.
I'll tell you what, if you're going to be living in Gotham, you don't want to be a police officer like on the streets. Oh. You want to be a security guard that works at a library that's closed.
Yeah,
totally.
Because I don't know what it was about maybe Gotham in the 90s, but they need 4 security guards to be inside a library after hours.
Yeah.
That seems like wasted money to me. Like, I think we're going to make some budget cuts here. We don't really need these 4 guys that aren't actually doing anything.
This is a public library. That's taxpayer dollars right there. Okay?
I've never understood why they're there. Like, why are they there?
These books are worth protecting.
This is one of my favorite scenes in all of cinema.
Yeah.
I have to be honest. I love, and this is why, I think Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is one of my favorite Fincher movies, is because there's so much research being done in that movie, like about serial killers or about like the past, and I love, he turns on Bach, how's this for some culture, and he just got Paradise Lost and whatever they're looking at this. I don't know, there's something about, especially like this open library with all those green lamps.
The green, what is it like the green desk lamps?
I don't know.
I kind of want one.
It's just so cozy. There's literally an ambiance video on YouTube like for 3 hours long of just those lamps and music from Se7en. And I turned it on and did research for this movie as I was doing that.
Bro,
the green lights.
YouTube has completely flipped for me. Like, I don't actually watch movies and videos on there. The last 3 days have been Halloween ambience, where they make like the repeating loops of like pumpkins and witches, and my kids love it. And a skeleton will walk through a house, and you're like, "This is what YouTube is
just
meant for, bro."
It's just space filler. Yeah,
it's Yule log on steroids.
It is.
Just different
exactly
versions.
what it is.
So
Sean wants this so bad in his life to be a guy that goes to the library and does research.
Yes.
That I went to the Marion Library the other day, found him in a corner. He brought his own little green lamp. He had a YouTube video on of background ambience music in the Se7en soundtrack, and the entire table was full of books about supermarkets, ecstasy, multi-level marketing. He was doing research for Go next week.
okay.
I couldn't believe it. I'm like, you really want to be Somerset, don't you?
He's drinking out of crummy paper cups.
and
coffee.
He asked me that. I'm like, could you shut up? And Mike was like, yeah.
That's the only time. That's the only
and then
words
I took
you
my
said
daughter
to each
over
other.
to the wall with all the LED light bulbs for my kid. I was like, let's
Correct.
go.
Could you actually go away from me?
There's because like the Cedar Rapids, that library, it's been redone. It's pretty modern, right?
Pretty modern, man.
So they actually have that corner. They have a corner that's
The
like,
seven
hey, this
corner?
is the old corner. So it's all the old shit.
Yeah.
So it's like walking into like a what are those like escape
Barnes and
rooms
Nobles.
or something, Yeah, Barnes and Nobles. Yeah.
There's something about this though where like I think the reason I like it is because it's just like I work a day job and it's so fucking chaotic most of the time, and by the time I'm done with like home shit, like taking care of
Taking a pool apart.
exactly, but it's 8:00 and then I can sit down and do my research.
It's the best.
It's just a moment of like levity for me, like this, just watching people look shit up. It's also juxtaposed by Mills looking at the hard evidence of it, and being very confused by it, obviously. But it's their juxtaposition between those characters, because he's looking at the hard evidence, Mills is, and Somerset's trying to dig into the psychology of what's going on. Before this, there's so many iconic moments for me too. He's like, it's after this. Where he's explaining that it's going to be 7 deadly sins to the captain. But
that's such a great scene.
yeah,
I've never seen anybody count with their pinky and their single one first. But dude, you bring up a good point about him doing the research, but then Mills buying the Cliff's Notes.
Yes.
And like Cliff's Notes was a rush of nostalgia for me seeing those books, because you got all these fucking boomers nowadays being like, kids, or they got AI and they're just cheating. Cliff's Notes was essentially AI
100%.
for back in the day. All it does is provide a condensed, digestible version of a question you have. It's a bridge between effort and understanding, and it's both sparked outrage when they were invented. That kids are not actually doing the work, but like Mills is not doing the work. He's not going to get what he needs out of the Cliff Notes.
Think about MapQuest.
MapQuest.
Like, it just gives you turn-by-turn directions other than just looking at a map. It's like, well, kids have it so easy.
They got so easy.
It's basically, that's a Cliff Notes version of a map.
My wife uses a Cliff Note version of technology. She will set her phone down somewhere in the house, and then instead of looking for her phone, she sets the
pings
alarm
it.
off with her watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, it's just like right next to her.
It's
Like, you
literally-
could just use your eyeballs.
It's literally just saying, hey, I'm over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but to her, it's like, well, no, I'd rather just know where it's at instead of wondering where it's at.
I have to take the 10
Taking
seconds
all the wonder out of life.
to look for my phone. Screw that.
Fuck that. Waste of time.
She pings it with her own phone. Oh, it's in my hand. Weird.
Where is my phone at? I gotta ping it. Oh,
Oh, it won't let me ping it. Oh, because I'm holding it. You
just
can't
like
ping your own phone.
You're just like ping. It's like, oh,
Where did that come from?
That's silly. Don't you guys have 2 phones, both of you?
Not
no,
anymore.
I have
I used
2 phone lines.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems like a nightmare to me.
Well,
Yeah. Let's do scene 2.
Okay.
let's do that.
Let's get back
On
to
that. Speaking of 2 lines,
The detectives discover a third victim, this time tied to sloth. They find the man skeletal and barely alive, having been restrained and tortured for an entire year. Somerset realizes the killer's crimes are meticulously planned moral executions rather than random murders. Mills and Somerset begin to bond over dinner at Mills' apartment with his wife, Tracy. Somerset later learns that Tracy's secretly pregnant and terrified of raising a child in such a hopeless place. It's time to talk about Morgan Freeman before we get to the sloth scene. The charm of this man needs to be studied. I just don't understand how this man has become the person we think of him today. But then you watch these movies of just the small stuff of him moving his desk over. Oh, no. I got to move out. I'll get out of your way. This is yours now. And the phone ringing. He says, comes with the territory. And his laugh at dinner later that night.
Yeah.
I love this man so much.
Same.
And it comes through in every role he plays.
I think this is my favorite performance that
Do
he's
you
done.
really?
I think so. I mean, we'll get to Shawshank. Obviously, I know he's incredible in that, but I just love that he even said yes to this movie and does such a fucking wonderful job of doing it, because he's Morgan Freeman, but he's playing a cynical person where he's just like, everything's fucked,
yeah.
And it's hard to see God essentially playing that. And if you are like, because we're kind of green as well as Mills, going into this. So we're learning about the town through Morgan Freeman's voice. You know, like
You can
that's
teach me anything you want, buddy.
absolutely. And as like more of like a big brother or father figure to Mills, he is to all of us as an audience member too. And I just think that especially in this dinner scene, he plays it so well.
Yeah.
We've talked about who you want to like narrate your life, and but Morgan Freeman's always been in that conversation. However, I think there's a difference though of saying, I want somebody to explain context to me in my life, and I want that voice to be Morgan Freeman.
Yes.
Because the way he does it, you know, it comes through so subtly. It doesn't feel heavy-handed, and like you're saying, watching him do this, it's like you can. Gene Hackman, you said there was like Robert Duvall,
Al Pacino.
A lot of these guys, yes, they would have absolutely done wonderful in this, but the humanity that Morgan Freeman brings to it is so important.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing for me.
And speaking of this dinner scene, when she opens the door, Gwyneth does, and she greets them, "Hello, men." Who the fuck answers a door like that?
She does. A lonely woman who knows no one, who feels the dread of having moved to the city, but sacrifices her life, literally and figuratively, for her husband to follow his dreams, and she like knows it.
Yeah.
It's so weird, but I used to kind of not necessarily like her character in this movie, but it's like she knows that this is the wrong move.
Oh yeah.
Everything, their apartment being a vibrating home, like everything's going wrong. It never stops raining.
Yeah.
I'm pregnant. We have no friends. This is like pretty. She's so happy to see another human being right now.
Yeah.
So excited.
And I mean, she's obviously the injection of humanity in its purest form, really, and like brings it out in these two guys as well, and makes them pretty much come together.
This
like
is the
they
moment.
don't know their first names, and she's like William, David, you know, like I think she's actually really, really good in this.
She is.
And
She's fantastic.
Such an important character to have in this.
We need to like her because we have to feel something multiple ways later on in this movie, and
Yeah.
I think she achieves it.
Yeah, even I mean, like you're right. Even like the visual metaphors of this being just a shitty ass town and the uneasiness of everything that's going on. Their vibrating home is just literally uneasy. You know, you can't have a drink sitting out without, you know, like protecting it. You know, it's the physical embodiment of the town that they're in, and what they're going through is just, it's unstable.
Everything's a goddamn metaphor in this movie, and it is borderline exhausting in the best way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I take away like every single time. Like I watched this movie a shit ton, guys. Like I watched it so many times because I was kind of enthralled. And I this is a movie where I'm like, I'm missing something. I know I can find something. There's something else here. Looking in the background, all that good stuff. And yeah, all these like random little things that they're doing, all the metaphors and of them, and especially around them eating dinner. I think that she is the humanity, but again, I'm going to come back to it. I feel like the way that every time that she calls Somerset, every time like anything is going on, she's like, she knows something that, well, she does know something that Mills doesn't, you know? She's got a secret, and that's what I mean. Like everybody in this fucking movie except Mills has a secret.
Well, I don't know if you're leading up to something where like Somerset is like in on it with John Doe.
You're gonna squash that right now.
Well, I'm the feeling I get that I agree with is that everyone's in on something is because Mills is so green, and we as an audience are so green to this town. They all are in this. They know that Mills is an outsider, and I think that's what subtly, like background characters looking at Mills or something going by. And,
It's like the
treating him
Inception
different.
moment when you're in a dream and everybody starts noticing that you're there and looking
like,
at you.
Or like if you go to, I assume if you go to New York, I hear anyway, and you are in the way on the subway, you are enemy number one. Like you need to go along with traffic, brother, because like this is how we live. You know?
Right.
I think that's what's going on with Mills.
So, and I'll what I reference, I guess, is I think we're here because does John Doe take photos in the stairwell after the sloth? Is that this one?
I thought it was after sloth, but it really doesn't matter. It's
the whole this whole dinner scene is before sloth.
Yes.
I know
Okay.
that.
my notes were, or my summary was wrong, but yes, this is happening before sloth.
Okay.
Because this is that beautiful scene when he asks for wine and he pours him a pint glass of wine, but he's studying so hard. Somerset's studying so hard that he grabs it and doesn't even think
It
about
starts
it.
vibrating again. He picks it up. He's like,
It's like it brings him back. Like, what the fuck?
He just poured me a pint glass of wine.
Yeah.
that's the thing too. This movie is really funny in
is.
a lot of parts as well.
I'll take a pint of wine, thank you.
Him playing with the dogs, and he's like he's one of the funniest guys I ever met. Really? He's watching him play with the dogs in a newspaper padded room.
Yeah.
Like there are some pretty funny moments.
Those are his dogs, apparently in real life.
Really?
Brad Pitt's dogs. Katie and I looked it up. One of them is still alive, I think.
Oh Jesus!
And,
how's that
My
possible?
God. That can't be.
But and this is also a great scene too because he is so invested in this, like, in looking at all these things, and he's like, there's usually just the one thing that sticks out,
One
you know.
thing.
And he says that's our thing to obsess over, and that's how the scene ends. It's like a perfectly written scene. But yeah, then I think this is where
Because then that's where they find
the
the fingerprints, and
and-
then now they have an identification of someone who made these fingerprints, which is
Yes.
where sloth.
They go ask the wife of the victim,
what's out of place.
That painting's upside down. And this is where I kind of want to mention too that all of this makes sense. Like I love a detective movie where you are kind of gathering evidence as well,
Right.
along with the characters, and it all falls into place really, really well. And that is one thing too, where it's like, is there anything that sticks out in these photos? It's just anything. I can't do this right now. She's like, wait, that painting it's upside down.
Yeah.
And it's just like one thing. The script feeds you several times during this movie. It feeds you like a line here and there too. It feeds you, where Somerset says, "This isn't going to have a happy ending." So that's engaging.
We already know that.
Exactly.
Yes,
And
thank
so
you
as an
for-
audience member, is that's like letting us know that something's going to happen. And it's not going to be pleasant. You know.
This is the only issue with this movie. I'm fine with it, but the amount of what if Somerset had actually just gotten sick? What if Somerset had gotten sick that week and couldn't work? No one's going to find those shards in his stomach, and even if they do, they go, yeah, well, he was forced to eat these. No other detective other than Somerset's going to go back to that first Spaghetti Man's house and is going to pull that fridge out and find that note. And then next one, greed. No one's going to find those fingerprints behind the wall, especially because you need like a black light or you need to dust for them. You know, like so. This for all the work that John Doe's put into this, it was balancing on a knife to whether this would even work out. Mm-hmm. And maybe he had a plan to where, like, who cares? We're still going to do these murders, and someday I'll confess to them and then send them back on their journey. But I don't care. But I also am like, man, you got lucky on this, John Doe.
Yeah.
To me, honestly, that's the funny version of this story.
Is where it doesn't work
Is
out.
where he's meticulously crafting
For over a
cuts
year.
off his own fingertips, spending his money. He's got his own money, doing everything, living in the squalor that he is, right?
Case
Just
closed.
like, I'm gonna be the new name in this town, and he's like, gluttony, ha ha ha, yeah, and he pushes it back, and then he's like, he stalks his crime scenes. We know that,
Yeah.
To a degree. So he stalks his own crime scenes, and he's like, yeah, now they're gonna find it. And they're like, and then what if it wasn't Somerset? And it was that
Mills. He
other
goes-
shitty cop who was from the beginning. And he's just like, yeah, case is cracked and closed on
And
this
then
one.
a bulldozer comes in and just demolishes the
Yeah.
house.
It's like, God dang it. Nobody's going to want to buy this house anymore. This is like the fourth more murder that we haven't solved in here.
I wrote thousands and thousands of notebooks for fucking nothing.
But nothing. It's
Jesus.
just absolute. And it's just like every time, it's just, it's going from scene to scene and just watching him not get the satisfaction of it. That's fucking hilarious.
He's just like, he's looking at the crime scene. He's like,
God, God damn it.
So
maybe this isn't maybe he kept doing the first one throughout that entire year. Maybe this whole year plan for Sloth was not actually a year of planning. It's just he had to just keep going until someone would solve the first murder.
Somebody finally. It's like, if we look back over the last 10 years, this is like
there's
been a lot of fat people who have been big people have eaten themselves. It's like,
it's one of them. It's one of them eating murders again.
It's a copycat.
Man, the people in this town are just something in the water, I guess. Like, what?
They love spaghetti around here.
And spaghetti prices are booming in Gotham.
What's the name of that? What's the name of that fast food Italian spaghetti place?
Fazoli's? There's a Fazoli's on every corner, like Starbucks in this town. John Doe is single-handedly keeping up the Batoli fucking budget, sales in this town.
Yeah, he is, man.
I love getting. I want to talk about them together as well. So, Freeman and Pitt in this. I love when they do discover the fingerprints or whatever, and he's dusting for him, and Pitt leans over to him. He's like, "Honestly, have you ever seen anything like this?" And no,
nope.
And then we kind of get to them waiting for the results of the fingerprints, and they're
great! I
they're
love
talking on the couch or whatever, and he's like, "Yeah, it's just the same bullshit over." Freeman or Somerset saying, "It's just the same bullshit. Collect the evidence, stacking papers on the off chance that were needed in courts. Like this all kind of seems trivial, And Mills is obviously the let's go get him Serpico guy. So he's like, whatever, dude. Like,
who cares?
We're doing good here. Like, there's a reason why we're here. It's just kind of reinforcing that back and forth that they have, and the kind of philosophy of the movie itself. And then they just end up staying overnight on each other, pretty much. It's great.
Brad Pitt is the king of this, and you can tell me if this is Fincher, but Brad Pitt does this in every movie. He's the king of physical. It's not comedy, but it's physical movements that are not needed. When he's about ready to fall asleep on that couch, he goes and he pushes away the ashtray. In the morning when he wakes up for his first day, he trips over something and looks back at his wife. He's such a. That's probably why he's eating in every movie, because it just works.
It's motion.
His motion is one of the best of all time.
Yeah, it's very rarely that Brad Pitt is ever static in a scene.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just stationary. I think that I talk about this at my job sometime when I'm talking. It's nice that I have a pen in my hand, because then I can kind of use it. And people will do that on stage when they're giving their TED talk.
I got my fidget thing.
There you go.
It helps so much.
Exactly, and it's there's something comfortable about that kind of gives you, and it's kind of makes you feel, it gives you a little bit of power,
right?
Mentally. And so him eating constantly, him kind of tripping, him moving the thing, he's just looking for things to control almost, and he does it so well. Now, the problem I have sometimes with his physicalness in this is when we get to a point, and I think it is the line where he says, the guy's a fucking nutbag. He's like, just because he has a fucking library card doesn't make him fucking Yoda.
Well, he touches his hair a lot.
Yeah, he's like, he's doing that, but he's doing
entire
this
hand
a lot, and he does that. It's kind of one of his tics and tells it for Brad Pitt. And you see, it's pretty. It's very present in this one. Sometimes he's a nutbag. That kind of shit.
Yeah.
And I want my sharks. That kind. But it's just
my sharks.
Yeah, I'll get there later. No. It's if he was giving Quentin's speech, basically.
Yeah. I want my scalps.
And I want my scalps.
Sharks.
I want my sharks. 1,000 men went into the water. And
9 of them came out.
And so, anyways, but yeah, that part of it does throw me off, and it's maybe where I agree with some of the folks about some of his acting in this movie.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because I think he is one of the best actors at occupying a space, occupying the set that they built, and interacting with that set, making it feel real and alive, because he is, kind of interacting or maybe tripping on something. It feels like a tangible a space, not like a set that they built. It seems like that's what I love about movies, is that when you watch a movie and I'm like, oh, well, that's just a building that they shot in, or like that's just
Right.
like a room they shot in. No, they built all this. And it's like, wait, what? And that like almost takes away the mystique of it, but it's also very, very, you see the artistry come into all this. And that's why I'll say now that I think this is probably the best art directed movie that we've ever
Maybe,
covered. It just looks incredible everywhere we go here. But yeah, I'm really glad you said that. That's a really cool thing about Brad Pitt.
You're right though too. Like this all the sets seem like there is a difference between creating a soundstage to be shot in, and then there's a soundstage to be acting in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's and all these sets are created very well for them to interact with the set.
Definitely.
You know, as their characters.
So we did an episode maybe a couple years ago, top 5 scariest scenes of all time, and I think I included this on here, and I don't think it's up for debate that this is one of the, still, even knowing what is going to happen, it is still one of the most terrifying scenes of all time. The sloth, when the music leading up to the SWAT team coming in, to them clearing the rooms, to finding the air fresheners in the ceiling, to seeing him, to being like, of course this man's dead.
And the seed of doubt also with Somerset and Mills. Like, it just doesn't seem right.
That's not our guy.
It doesn't seem like our guy, but they still go along with it. You know?
Yep, and John C. McGinley being the most perfect SWAT team leader of all time, getting his face in there, starts in his throat moves, and then to even follow that up with one of the most frightening lines of all time when they get to the hospital and they're trying to talk to this doctor, and he says, even if his brain were not mush, which it is, he chewed off his own tongue long ago. Detective, he'd die of shock right now if you were to shine a flashlight in his eyes. He's experienced about as much pain and suffering as anyone I've ever encountered, and he still has hell to look forward to. Good night.
Dun 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 dun. Fuck yeah, dude. That's so sick.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Rock and roll.
Open up this pit.
That scares the fuck out of me.
Sean is gay.
Sean is gay.
In case you were wondering what we think it is.
It's not Con is king. It's Sean is gay.
It's one of the best lines in the movie, and he delivers it so fucking well. I've seen that actor.
I looked him up,
things.
and there's nothing really majorly notably, but like, yes, his face has been seen.
Yeah, I totally just agree with you. It sums up just the harrowing nature of all of this and what he's gone through for a year, and how meticulous John Doe has been throughout this whole fucking
Paying
time.
his rent on time, so that with cash, so that no one knows. Air fresheners, taking the photos every day, putting the drugs in his veins. This is terrifying.
Yeah, it's methodical and patient is what Somerset says, and it's
worst of all
patient. Yeah, man, that's
setting out basically all of the identifying evidence, of who this person is.
Yeah,
like all that stuff too, and then the pictures, the meticulous pictures, like This was the biggest shocker for me as a new watch. I did not expect. I had no idea about how this scene played out. There's nothing out there in the metaverse that freaking gave this away for me. And him waking up essentially. And yeah, you're right. John C. McGinley though is the perfect, along with Bob Stevenson.
Yep.
Showing up there, and it's just. Fuck.
He's alive. The fucker's alive.
Man,
I love that line.
It's so damn good. And by the way, the only thing I wish, guys, is that the doctor would have been played by Matt Walsh. And that's all. And Matt Walsh is in role models.
Yeah,
He's a doctor in a few different things.
He would have been too much of a dick because this guy had the perfect level of dick doctor, but also I'm busy. What do you expect?
Matt Walsh in The Hangover.
Oh hand him some money. All they got was that first line out of him. They're like, we need more. And he goes, All right. Listen, this dude will die of shock if we shine a light to his eyes. He's going to fucking hell. We're waiting for him to die. What do you want? Good day, gentlemen.
Just have a lingering shot. It's just like, well, you're welcome. It's just anything from him. Anyways, the sloth thing happens, and then again, John Doe is there in the stairwell. Did you guys know first watch when you guys saw this, like, oh, that was him?
No.
For some reason, it kind of stood out to me
His voice.
on the very first watch, and I think it was because of kind of how it was shot. It seems like they are trying to kind of hide something from you almost a little bit, the way that he's like,
And if you freeze frame, it's him.
Oh, it's
in a
him.
wig. Yeah,
Oh,
it's definitely
100%.
him.
It's
And you hear his
definitely him.
voice. I think going into this, I didn't know they refrained from putting his name in the promotions.
He
asked for that,
Yeah.
didn't he?
He just came out of Usual Suspects, huge name.
huge star. Yeah.
But we would know by the time this movie got halfway in, we'd be like, all right,
Yeah.
he's the killer.
so he hasn't shown up
That
yet.
is a great point,
Yeah.
But
actually.
you knew he was already in the movie.
I already knew he was in the movie,
Yes.
so I'm kind of waiting for him to show up.
Yes.
So that's a good point, actually.
First time watching this, you have no clue that he's even in the movie.
Right? Yeah. If you're seeing this and you don't know, then you're 100% right.
The compromise was putting him first at the end credits.
Yes.
but- okay.
And again in the
Twice
list
again.
of
Okay,
yeah.
twice.
okay.
It's a SAG rule.
it's a brilliant decision. Like
It is.
movies don't do this anymore. Like
Nope.
Psycho, man. Like he like bought all the fucking books off the shelf so people didn't spoil the ending or whatever. That's the same kind of shit here. It's like, and they tried to change all of this. We'll get to like especially the ending, but just let a fucking filmmaker make a fucking
let him
film.
do it.
Oh, sorry, I made $300 million off a $30 million budget.
My
Whoops.
bad.
Maybe I was correct. Like, just let him go.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, let's do scene 3. So Somerset's research leads the pair to a man named John Doe whose library records match their suspect's profile. When they raid his apartment, Doe returns unexpectedly, triggering a tense chase. Mills nearly captures him, but Doe overpowers him and escapes, choosing to spare his life. Inside Doe's apartment, they uncover hundreds of handwritten journals, photographs of crime scenes, and eerie surveillance shots of the detectives themselves. The enormity of Doe's obsession becomes clear. We missed one part. The diner. Dude, this is such an important scene.
I think so.
Because finding out that she's pregnant is very important. Finding out how unhappy she is very important. Finding out how compassionate Somerset can be. But
And how you're right, and the fact that she does have no one else to go to. Like,
no,
she
she's
just
calling
met
a
William.
65-year-old man
Yeah.
that she met one time. That like even her partner doesn't know that well.
Yeah.
But dude, this is such an unbelievable. Sean, someday you'll feel this, but like the way he describes the day after finding out that his wife was pregnant, how
Yes.
everything changes. And
But
how
that was the first day that I knew that I was going to have a child.
yes,
And that's what made the day different. You know, I woke up just like any other day, but this was the first day I knew that I was
and
pregnant.
Your entire life changes
Yeah.
because all of a sudden this extra burden is on your shoulders of knowing that like, bro, this world sucks. Do I really want a kid to come into this world, especially Somerset? And then knowing that you've only got like 7-8 months to put your shit together. It's such an incredible description of the way that feels. And then even that, not many movies would do that whole thing that he said that even though he made the right choice to force her into an abortion, he still wishes he made a different choice. Like that's a wild concept to put into the ethos of this movie, where we technically maybe don't need it, but like pretty crazy,
I
man.
think it's like one of the most important scenes because I feel this all of the time. Like, you know, my wife and I talk about having kids, and I'm like, some days I'm just like,
You sure about that?
I don't know, man. You know, but then he says shit like that, or like I'm reminded, and I see you guys with your kids, or like whatever. You know, my brother with his kids, and I'm like, this is magical. Like, why would I ever want to not do this? You know, but I can see where he's coming from, and the way he delivers. If you choose to
If
get
you
rid
choose
of it,
to.
don't ever tell him you were pregnant. If you choose to have it, you spoil the hell out of that baby. And her reaction is, it's like making me want to cry now.
Yeah. Well, and it's one of those things that everybody must say it, because I think I mean, I've had conversations about it before or whatever with people that, Mike, I'm sure you said it. Why the hell would I bring a kid into this world right now?
2 of them.
Every single person said that when they were about to have a kid.
Yeah,
Our parents
or
probably said that.
100%.
Yeah.
When
Wait,
was
what?
the world ever a place where you felt like it was a good time to
Never.
bring a kid into the world. A pure innocent hard drive for you to download all of your shit and the rest of the world's shit onto, right? And just put that out in the world. When is that ever a good time?
Yeah.
And that's the question, though. It's like it's never a good time or whatever it is, but and that's this kind of conversation it feels like that they're having is like, it's not that it's a good time, but if you choose to go and do this, then just spoil the hell out of the kid.
Yeah, that's
and
all you can do.
That's all
Which
you can.
to me is the thesis of the movie in just this scene as well, is because it's never a good time, and like what the movie's saying, I think, especially with like the griminess and the grittiness, is like there's always a little bit of light though, and that's worth fighting for.
Yes.
And what the line at the end, and it's just a perfect scene in my mind.
Yeah, I wanted to. I'm sorry, I have to double back on you guys a little bit.
Great.
I know, on time and shit. And like,
We've been trying to keep our episodes shorter.
The
know
one
what?
we're
Here you
like,
go.
hey
You know
guys,
what?
we should be conscious of keeping episodes shorter the day before we start 7.
yeah. So anyway,
Go's going to be 45 minutes next week.
100%.
That's how we're compensating from episode to episode.
Yes.
So it's like, no. Anyways, I'm gonna drag this one out for just
Please.
5 more
Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah. And 3, 2, 1. Go ahead.
Go fuck yourself. Then so my whole big thing. Logan is staring daggers into me this whole fucking time.
Logan gave us a hard out. That's the only way this episode is going to end.
I know. So anyways, my whole thing about Somerset and why I think it's not, I don't believe, Sean, I'll just sell this right now. I don't believe that he is in on it, but I think that he unknowingly contributed. And I think that that is left up to people to decide, because he so willingly says people, like reporters get information from cops all the time, and it's really easy to do. They pay really well. And he is not surprised or shocked. And granted, maybe he's seen it 100 times before, but that this photographer just shows up, flash photography in a stairwell out of nowhere, and he is not shocked. He is not surprised by it one bit. Not even a quick head turn that this person has shown up. And that's why I think that he may have been the one to unknowingly pay or give the information to John Doe for money.
Here's where I agree with you. I agree that if he did retire or like stayed off of this kind of case and just kind of like, well, I'm going to quit then. Like, fuck it. Then Mills and Tracy wouldn't have this happen to him.
Okay.
It was his tenacity and him figuring it out, and him dragging Mills into this, being more in the limelight of John Doe, is what got Mills on the radar and Tracy on the radar of John Doe. I really think that if, like we were talking about earlier, if Somerset wasn't the smartest man in the room and noticing all these clues, then none of this would have happened to Mills and Tracy.
And I think John Doe's smart enough to know. I mean, clearly this man has thought about this for decades. He knew that Somerset would be on this case. He knew that Somerset would solve it. So all he needed to do was wait for some partner to come along that had a wife.
Yeah.
And to join Somerset. And so, like, I think he just knew that this was going to happen.
I think to that degree though too, I think that in that stairwell, I think that is what determined the rest of the movie path right there.
But he couldn't have gone this far without already having the ending planned.
He probably had, well, I don't know, because it seemed like he was like really excited about how it ended, how it was going to end. It's like he figured it out at some point. And the reason I say that is because what if it was in fact a flip and it was Somerset that got upset in that stairwell and not Mills, and Somerset was the one that chased him off and got pissed at him, and then maybe that's why he became the target. That's why I think he became the target, was because he got pissed at him, and eventually one of those guys is going to be his target. That I agree with you.
It can't be Somerset. Somerset, he can't do anything to Somerset to make him want to kill him.
Oh man, I don't know.
I
Okay.
agree with I agree with you that I think he like improvised this, like Mills being the wrath. Pretty much, I think he came up with this. Like, I think he probably had other victims in mind.
But he saw that Mills would go nuts
Because
he saw an opportunity.
He's envious of Mills because Mills is so optimistic.
Okay.
And John Doe is not about the world.
Yeah.
We do got to talk about when they outsmart him. This is an incredible. Usually detectives, I mean, they were never going to solve this case, but they came close by this whole thought of the library card thing. Like, it's an incredible turn to show that they could almost outsmart this killer, and they almost had him. And they get there, and then that's when probably one of the greatest chase scenes of all time happens.
Yeah.
This is Point Break-esque, in my opinion. If you're talking about some of the greatest chase scenes ever, Brad Pitt sells this for me. His, like, with his gun, like, just like, because too often movies will show that like it's just a perfect, like, just run, just go all the way to the end of this hallway. But Brad Pitt is just like, no, where could he be? Where could he be? Where could he be? And he's methodical about moving. This is incredible. This is one of the greatest chase scenes I've ever seen.
Fincher said this is like the most daunting scene in the movie for him, because he's like, how do I make a chase scene exciting ever again? He's like, well, all chase scenes that I see it seems like the good guy knows where the bad guy is
Always.
at all times. And he's like, well, I'm going to kind of make it the opposite, because it kind of would be the opposite. If you're being chased, you're already carving this path. And so you know when and where the person chasing you is going to be. And so I love all the instances of him, like, waiting there and just fucking taking pot shots at him.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's riveting. It goes through several different apartments. It goes through several different buildings, it seems. And all the while, John Doe, or like Kevin Spacey, I guess, is knowing where Mills is going to be at all times, and it's that makes it very frightening as well.
Yeah, and he knows he can't kill him because at this point he's made up his mind that Mills needs to be the guy.
Yeah.
And so, like, he could have easily killed him, but at this point he already knows Mills is my guy. I need to let him live.
I think that's the big thing. I think that's, again, between taking the photos of them both and this chase scene, it's like, this is what helps him determine, like, I'm going to make an example out of your ass to some degree, like, because why would I guess he has his reasonings and his own moral compass, this crazy moral compass of, doing, it's like he's God's sword or something like that, whatever. But I just don't. It's like he devised this right then and there. It's like, and he can't just kill somebody. He's got to go through his process. So that's
then
why.
if he does kill him, if he kills Mills right there, then now there's their ability to get into that apartment, detective wise. So I think he also is hoping that they're not going to be fucking psychos and break down my door and pay off homeless people and figure it out later. But that's amazing. Like, all these extra thoughts. What does actually happen if they catch this guy? If Mills catches him, what happens? Yeah. Why were they there? If them deciding, like, Somerset being so smart to go, dude, we cannot go in here. There needs to be a reason why we're knocking on this door. It's a nearly flawless movie. Every aspect of this movie.
This is one of the parts that I'm just, like, kind of between the two of them. I'm like, God damn it, they're just playing this. They're playing this to a T. They're doing it so fucking perfect, because Mills is upset. You're right. And he just he plays Somerset a little bit.
He actually broke his arm filming that.
Oh, that's right.
So, like, he's actually hurt. And
he's actually in pain.
Sliced it open, like, on, like, his hand. And Dave Fincher described it. He's like, I could see the fucking bone, brother.
Jesus.
And so, yeah, he's gonna cast the rest of the movie.
But they're going through this, and as upset as Mills is, and he does exactly what Somerset doesn't want him to do. All Somerset can do is, like, you stupid son of a bitch. He's like, he's in disbelief,
No point in arguing now.
Yeah, exactly.
We needed it. At this point, we're siding with Mills. We're like,
we are.
I don't care that you did that.
After everything he's been through. And then it's what this is kind of, for me, is a bit of a flip on the head, too, of the idea of, well, press pays off cops and stuff, like, or pays cops for information. Now they're paying this homeless person. It's like they're kind of flipping the idea, and kind of learning it. Mills is learning something almost. I don't know.
And it's also that aspect of like paying people off or like doing kind of the shady shit, you know, where it calls into effect like where they're trying to do good, they have to sort of do bad as well sometimes.
Right.
And
Do
that's
good.
what this world is.
It's a shitty
You
world.
know, like that's what this city is doing to them. That's how you have to navigate this city.
And that's
like,
what John Doe thinks he's doing.
exactly. And not everyone is high and mighty. You know, you will do as I've sinned today many times probably. You know?
Yeah.
You know, it's just like
You farted when you got up.
it's bad.
There you are.
It's bad.
Terrible.
You know,
Methane.
Dutch oven.
It's the 12th deadly sin is releasing methane into
Methane.
the air. The ozone, it's based around the ozone layer. There's an
the eighth.
addendum.
The extreme close up of the gun is one of the best shots in cinema history in my mind when he's pointing it at Mills. And it's David Fincher doing that because he didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't do it right apparently. But we get to like I think one of the best sets I've ever seen in cinema history is John Doe's apartment.
Fucking
And
terrifying.
them just going through it, the creepy nature, the music. I love Howard Shore's score here. It's very similar to Silence of the Lambs. I love that score as well. But the extreme detail of this place. These notebooks were all handwritten and all hand sewn.
They had to be, man.
And they were like thrown in the oven to make it look like old and just the extreme detail that the production went through to make this place look like it does is staggering to me. I love this shit so much.
Any movie that you could ever put something like this in where we've stumbled into the lair of the psychopath and now we're looking at how they live, that fucking shitty ass cot with the red cross above it. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. What are you doing?
The trophies of the victims.
It just makes you. It's just everything is created just make you uncomfortable. There's not a way to fathom how an individual can walk in there and be comfortable, and that's the most disturbing thing because this is his comfort place. Basically, what it is.
Good to be home.
Good. Just let my hair down.
He was just gonna go relax.
Throw
He
my-
had a bag of groceries. He's like, I'm gonna make a sandwich
Yeah, you're right.
because the goons got to eat too, man.
You know, that's a problem
he
here.
shits. He had to buy toilet
He
paper.
had to get toilet. He was running out of toilet paper.
He got some dude wipes. He's
Yeah.
like, man, it's been kind of messy lately.
The guy's still got to go get his own groceries. He's human. Okay.
He buys Dr. Squatch soap.
Yep.
He like really likes the
Yeah, I
smell
know
of it.
he cut off his fingertips, but he still got to cut his fingernails
Yeah.
every now and again.
He probably had like some ramen in there. You know, he's spending his money on other things, not food.
Yeah,
And he was like, today, honestly, yeah, I usually do have ramen or whatever, but
Yeah.
some spaghetti. I'm kind of sick of spaghetti, to be honest.
I told
for some
myself
reason.
that once we make it that full year on the sloth guy,
The sloth guy.
I'm gonna buy a nice bottle of fettuccine alfredo 1981.
Yeah, cook up a nice steak on the skillet, you know, do some, just fucking burn that shit and
what the fuck are they doing here?
have a real good, and that's why he's like,
What
Yeah.
a shot though
It's
of
so
that
good.
creepy guy at the end of the hallway stopping, and they know, and then he goes, "No, I'm just gonna keep." Bah, bah, bah,
I
bah.
love it.
What a
It's so
shot,
good.
man!
I love the idea that he was coming home to his favorite dinner of a nice like weird like a boiled ham steak and a glass of warm milk, and he just can't have it because there's two fucking cops at his door. He's like, dang it!
He splurged.
That's what
He
set
bought-
him off.
It's 95, so he bought like some gushers,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
sour
yeah.
gushers.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he's like,
Oh, these
"This
are
is
gonna be good."
He's a fruit by the foot kind of guy.
Capri Sun. He's got Capri Suns, kiwi strawberry.
He's
like,
got a child's palate. Dino nuggets and
clearly
fucking-
Canadians.
fucking ecto cooler like or juice blasters.
The high C just came out, man.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you.
He's got some squeezes.
Yeah, squeezes. That's what they are.
Jones soda in there because the pictures are fun.
He really likes the one with the burning monk on it.
Oh, damn.
Whatever.
All right, let's move on to the next scene. So the next murders push the horror further. Lust, a prostitute killed by a bladed strap-on at Doe's command, and Pride, a vain model disfigured and given the choice between death or survival with a ruined face. Just when it seems the case has reached a standstill, John Doe walks into the police station covered in blood, calmly surrenders. He insists that Mills and Somerset escort him to a remote location where the final two sins will be revealed. I did never catch that one when they go to that leather shop.
Oh yeah.
And catch the fact that John Doe's clearly outside of that place.
I think we see him more times than is even explained to us.
I would agree. Yeah.
In this movie, there's the obvious. of him
The stairwell.
in the stairwell,
And
but then the less obvious of him, what you're saying, right?
outside the leather shop.
They
Wild
say
Bill's leather.
guy with a limp, and there's somebody with a limp outside with an umbrella.
He was coming in. He's like, "Hey, Paul, I'm here to tell you that strap-on worked." Oh, fuck, goddamn, they're in there.
Wow.
It almost feels like he's surprised to see them in there and
Right.
turns around.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we also see him outside, I think, of the sloth apartment too. There's a slightly lingering shot outside before they all go in or
Right,
whatever.
right.
And you can kind of see somebody back there too. I really do believe we see
Well, he had
John
to
Doe
just to
more
make sure
often than
the
we
things
think.
were happening. He had to make sure. He had to stalk it.
Exactly. And yes, I think that this is obviously the most. It's hard to say, I guess.
Fucked up.
It's hard to pick a favorite. This is the most disturbing of
I hate this one.
the ideas and the thoughts that went into this. It's
I
just
hate this one.
fucked.
It's amazing though, because of Layla Norser.
Dude.
Get the cig off me! Get the cig off me! He's so fucking good.
No one else could have played that.
No.
I guess he literally like kept himself up for like, I don't know, like a couple of days.
Before takes, he would
And-
hyperventilate.
and he'd hyperventilate a lot, and I think even just and suck down a bunch of coffee and shit, like just whatever he could do to get into this like, mindset and this role.
What the fuck happens to this guy after this?
No, I mean,
Because like he's in trouble, right?
right?
Like he killed someone. Even though he said someone made him do it, how do we know someone made him do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, are you guys gonna do it?
I don't.
No,
think so.
I don't.
so,
I
dude.
don't
I
know
think
if there's
that- I think
anything in me. It's kind of like the don't go to the second location thing. Like, this is your chance to be like, kill
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Kill me, because I'm not going to do this, because this man is either going to go to jail and or is so fucked up for the rest of his life.
In this city,
he can't
does-
close his eyes without seeing what he did.
This city does not have a good program for therapy.
This was his therapy. And now he can't even go back there.
That's a good point.
Damn,
Here's the
Scrubbed
thing.
one off, bro.
I think you know what, Mike, you're right about this, like the second location mentality. I think if you woke up and he got this thing strapped to you. I mean, we saw this. This thing looked like David Bowie's knife. It looked like Rambo's knife.
Does the dick go into the knife, or
I think it's just a piece.
It's just above
It's like
the
where
dick.
a dildo, like a strap on, would
Right.
be. So,
so his dick was actually just down.
It's in place of a cock.
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
I think if you woke up, some guy put this on you, and he's got a gun on you. I think it's second location mentality, and you just start trying to fuck him with it.
Yep.
You just try to stab him with your
Ah!
with your thing. You just get out of here. Waving it around,
and
brandishing.
if he shoots and kills you, like
Hey, at least I went down swinging.
swinging dicks. yeah.
Yeah, man.
But really, it's sad. So.
It's incredibly disturbing. Yeah.
He told me to fuck her. Then I did. And I did. I fucked her. I fucked her. It's really fucked up, but also really funny.
And they don't show it.
It's
Thank
so
God.
funny.
When they cut away and it's the recording, all I could think about is somebody in an evidence room having to go and back and re-listen to that recording and how fucked it would be, like how disturbing it would be, because you hear about that all the time, like people talk, like the conversations they have with like the serial killers or like those famous killers, and it's just like disturbing to hear how they talk about it. And this guy's just like, he had a gun in my mouth. There's that gun was in my fucking throat.
Oh, God. He had a gun on my fucking throat.
That kind of thing. It's just, that's all I could think about.
Yeah.
So
Incredible. I'm going to nominate it for a Confusey right now.
you go.
Put him on the confusing, man. I like that.
and you know what? There's something to be said about how intense his interview is, and then there's the guy in the other room too,
Michael
Massey, who, like, I'm not gonna say it's like underwhelming, but at the same time, it's just so how unbothered he is by kind of this idea of what's going on. He's just seen so much shit having to sit at this window, taking money for people. I guess that's just weird.
And then you move on to the next one of, man, he literally, they don't spend enough time on this one, I don't think, of the, what is it, Pride, I guess?
Pride.
Of where they literally, it seems like seems like an obvious choice here and a very easy choice for this person to make. They sliced her face so bad that they cut off her nose and then basically allowed her to either call for help or sleeping pills. Like, I mean, I kind of wish they would have spent a little more time on this, but at this point we don't need it because we know that while they went to this scene is when John Doe went and took Tracy.
Right. Okay.
So it's just like, who cares?
And I kind of want to backtrack a little bit when they're in the bar talking to each other, because it kind of plays into why I think it's okay that they don't spend a lot of time on Pride, because this is probably my favorite scene of the movie. I think is because they're explaining kind of their philosophy about each other, and I kind of wonder where you guys err on the side of, like, are you more the optimist like Mills is, or are you more the cynic like Somerset is? Yeah, let me know.
Let me know in the comments.
Yeah.
Let me know in the comments. I'll give you that right now. No, like like a lot of what they were talking about. Like I was still just reeling from the other bullshit.
Blade cock.
Blade dick. Yes. But everything that they're talking about, you're asking optimist or cynic on just what's happening.
Humanity.
Mills thinks that like they're going to capture him, and he thinks that we're going to do this and we're going to create good. And Somerset's just like,
even if we do,
even if we catch him and he is the
even
devil,
if he is
there's
the
gonna be
devil
another
himself, nothing will change.
Yeah.
I'm more Somerset. I used to be more Mills, but
I know
now
you are.
I used to be a lot more Mills. Younger Mike in his life, but older Mike is very much like, what we're doing here matters in zero.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know why we're trying to find this guy, because it has happened. It will continue to happen. And even if we capture him, we are not going to be satisfied. And this does not have a happy ending.
And you have to realize, like in another, like what's another hero? I mean, if you in another story, in other comic books, the Punisher only punishes bad people too. Technically,
is John Doe really doing anything bad?
No.
Who is he? It's just the fact that he's doing it, not necessarily who he's doing it to.
Yeah.
And
some of the worst people.
There is that moral conundrum of if you have it, but at the same time, it's just like you don't get to do that.
Yeah,
so,
you're not Boondock Saints here.
Correct. You're not.
Even
Boondock.
that we watch Boondock Saints. We're like, yeah,
we're cheering for that.
But it's like,
murder.
Wait a minute, you can't do that.
Yeah, like it's just. So there is that underlying thing.
I love how he kind of bests Somerset here, where he says, "No, you know what I think." He's like, "You believe all that shit." He's like, "Damn right I do. I have to,
Have to."
And he says, "I don't think you're quitting because you believe those things. I think you believe those things because you're quitting." And I'm like, that's I've kind of had to like unpack that ever since I like watched this for fucking 5 times in a row.
Yep.
And I think it's kind of brilliant in the way because Somerset shuts right up and he's kind of like, I underestimated you a little bit, I think, and maybe myself, because obviously, yes, what he's saying is, you're going out of this, and so you want it to be this way, and that you want that to be the reason you're leaving, but you don't actually think that. You just want to get out of it because of the things that are happening to you. You actually feel more like I do. You just don't want to because it's easier for you. Like even Somerset says, it's easier to beat a child than to parent them.
Yes.
Love costs. It takes effort. I think that's a battle going on within Somerset, and Mills is obviously the representation of the push and pull within Somerset, and I think he is like, oh shit, yeah, fuck, you're right.
It's a really good point. I mean, I think I've said it 100 times. But the jobs that I have and everything, it's always requiring interacting with other people and sales. And Mike, you do that stuff too. You're just like, it's like I am convinced. I know it about myself.
Yeah. After
doing stuff for so long, it's that I believe about anybody that they can convince and sell themselves on anything if they want it. And you don't have to do a lot of work to do it. They'll do it for themselves, and that's like what he's saying. Is like Somerset is, you're selling yourself because you're leaving. You want to believe this.
Mm-hmm.
What you want to believe this because you're leaving. you're going to convince yourself one way or the other.
Yeah, this is it's going to be a bad place in your opinion, no matter what, because it's what you kind of forced upon yourself.
Yeah.
Even though you don't believe that, even though you do think you are actually doing some good,
Right.
Which I think lends to the ending a lot too. Which I think that's why, Mike, you're Somerset, I'm Mills, and AJ, you're Tracy.
I'm Tracy. Yes.
Because it's the push and pull between Mike and I of the optimist and the cynic, and then you bring us together.
Oh, good.
That's how this
that's great.
how this show works.
Make a good meal too.
Yeah. Make a meal out of me and come back for more.
Well, then maybe you could explain to me, Sean, on how it's possible that these cops are so shitty that John Doe walks into the station and covered in blood, hands together, yelling detective, and no one looks at him or pays any attention to him. It's unreal to me. But what a scene when he yells, "Detective!"
You're looking
God,
for
it gives
me.
me chills.
It's so good.
It
gives me chills.
The epitome of how bad he wants the attention, especially after
John Doe?
Yeah.
He's so
Especially
excited.
You don't leave all these clues and do all this work, all this stuff out because you don't want attention, because
They all want to be
don't
found.
want to get caught, and you don't go to your crime scenes again. You don't revisit this shit.
Yep.
And it's him. He thinks it's like he's got in his brain, he is so worth everyone's time in this place, obviously, and he is. But to just be able to say, detective.
Guess what?
And when they don't pay attention to him, he is so irritated and upset that he freaks out for like the only time that we really see. He really freaks out, and he yells detective for their attention.
So great.
It's
Also, he's
fucking
on a
good.
time crunch. He's got a package that's going to be
That's a good point.
We gotta fucking
He's like, I already
go.
paid that guy. I don't.
We don't know what he's going to do if we're not there.
Yeah.
He might take it back to the station.
Yeah.
No, this is masterful, man. I fucking love this so much when the especially the lawyer or
Oh, what a dick, bro.
this and also very good character actor. I like this guy a lot. But when he's like he only brings Detective Somerset and Mills to the location of the two bodies. He'll turn himself in and sign a full confession if you guys do this. If not, you're gonna plead insanity. And he's like, I can get him off on insanity with the nature of these crimes. Like, come on. And it's like, yeah.
The way this guy's talking, because normally I'd be like, yeah, he's not insane. Like,
Exactly.
We're not going to, and even if he is, like, we're still going to get him. But this guy scares me to where we got to do what he says.
Yeah.
Because this guy seems like he's really good at what he does.
Yeah.
And he's a dick bag.
100%.
I don't know how you could possibly be an attorney and be able to, like, do your job for people like this.
Oh, I know,
Disconnect,
I
essentially.
I don't know how that works.
It's
Yeah.
crazy to me.
Michael or Gordon Bombay, man. What it was Gordon Bombay? It was
I mean, it would have played well in the
Just saying,
times.
we can have some fun with that on Patreon. huh?
Go for the W.
Where he says, this is the first time I agree with you. You know, they're kind of, well, they are together pretty much, but he says he wouldn't just stop. You know, he's 2 murders away from completing his masterpiece.
Of
This doesn't
course.
make sense, you know.
It doesn't make sense at all.
No.
Well, and so the question I have for you is: he said two more bodies, or does he say two?
He says
two more,
there's two because they
two
know
more victims.
there's
or
2 more bodies.
2 more bodies.
It says bodies, and
So-
I'm going to show you where the remaining 2 bodies are, so
Okay.
that you can then have me captured, tie up all your loose ends. You got to come with me. They have to go with him.
Yeah.
They have to. It's a perfect fucking plan by John Doe.
There was a set of, or a blood we found on
Yep.
him that was from a third victim yet to be identified.
That was really the way he thought of it, to be like, this is fail proof.
Yeah.
And that to me is if he's referring to 2 more bodies, is he referring to Tracy and her baby, or is he referring to Tracy
No.
and himself?
Tracy and himself.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
That is the completion.
Definitive?
Of yes.
Okay.
Well, I think he's just trying to get them to go. I don't think he's like implying that. I think you can infer that as an audience member.
Yes, he's trying to tell them, yes, of
Because
course.
there's 2
the
more sins left.
Yeah.
Yes, there's 2 more bodies there. But he knows that
He's not
his
trying
plan-
to be like,
Okay.
I
You know
know
what I
she's
mean?
pregnant.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
That's what my wife thought though. Was
Okay.
Tracy and the baby was going to be the 6 and 7.
She's like
I've got
6 weeks pregnant.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
a good
so
point.
I mean, I don't think not to get
It's not technically a person,
I mean,
right?
you can't really count that. Do you count that though? Well, you guys, you better right now, definitive. Do you guys count it or not?
It can't read, so no.
You tell me your thought, and we will either be friends or never talk again, depending on what your opinion is about this.
Does a tree fart in the woods? I don't know.
I'm out of here.
I'm gone. I don't know what I just said, but I said, no, I like.
I didn't think we would ever talk about that. We're talking about
did.
7.
I did.
I had a feeling. I had a feeling if we were gonna get
I've
into
seen
that.
billboards.
I've seen that billboard. I'm a child, not a choice. All right, there it is.
That's what I say to everyone.
That's the billboard I saw. And then,
hey,
and then
I'm a
there's
child, not a choice, okay?
and then there was yep. Anyway, taco.
Anyway,
so
taco.
so no, but that was one question I had, kind of about it though, was maybe what he was referring to.
Nope.
And then I have one more thing. We'll get to it. For my Somerset theory.
Okay.
So
Final scene. Driven into the barren desert, Mills and Somerset follow Doe's directions. A mysterious delivery van arrives with a box. Horrifying Somerset, Tracy's head is in the box, a crime committed by Doe to represent envy. He goads Mills into fulfilling wrath by killing him, revealing that Tracy was pregnant, something Mills never knew. Consumed by rage and grief, Mills shoots Doe, completing the circle of sins as police escort a shattered Mills away. Somerset quietly tells his captain he won't retire after all.
you don't know that. You don't know it's in. You don't know. They don't ever show us, so you don't know.
You don't actually know.
Maybe it's the dog's head.
Maybe it's
Would've
maybe
killed
that
him,
was
too.
inside her, huh? How about that awfulness?
Let's talk about this whole car ride scene.
No.
Oh, you mean one of the greatest scenes in movie history?
Unless you were planning on with your Somerset thing.
No,
Or is this going to lead to it?
It'll lead to it.
Okay. One of the
one of
best,
the greatest acted scenes of all time.
I think so. And he says, you can't just tap someone on the shoulder and make them listen. You have to hit him over the head with a sledgehammer. Like all of the things he's saying are all of what's like going on with younger men in this in the time we live in now. And it's kind of a clear indication that, like the movie's saying, nothing really changes. It's all very cyclical, and you can be cynical about it or optimistic about it. Okay. And, because this is like all of the calling cards that these fucking assassinations leave, you know what I mean, that we've been seeing. But also, a lot of what he says makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense, but like you guys are talking about, it's just we just don't go this far with it,
Yeah.
And I think that's what I kind of relate to John Doe-ish a little bit, and I think that's why Somerset definitely relates to John Doe, and that's why he's asking more philosophical questions than the Mills is, and just kind of like poking at him.
They're sort of the similar person, just opposite ends of the
Definitely.
spectrum.
All right, we got it. We got the confession, guys. Come on in.
What?
Get him. Get him.
What?
Get him.
He loves John Doe.
He's John Doe.
Hey, David Fincher says so too.
Okay, well there you go. No, I actually very much agree with you. Like a lot of the shit he's saying is like, well, it's really hard to disagree with. The only thing I disagree with is what you did.
Yeah.
And it's impossible
You can think
to
everything you thought, but just maybe not do it.
It's impossible to agree and think that way about it. And in the incredibly meticulous, as we've already said, way that you went about doing this by ordering and waiting the time for a knife dildo. Like, I'm sorry. Like
He said it was going to be done on Tuesday. He's a couple days late.
Yeah, he's like,
Damn.
oh man, he's putting me behind schedule. That kind of shit, right?
But one more curve in it.
Yeah, he's like, can you? It needs to be sharper. But that's the thing, and I love during this scene though that there's like a power struggle though that kind of goes back and forth. John Doe is always behind the screen, behind the bars,
Yep.
Of this car, and
So is Mills.
But Mills, it bounces back and forth on him. And it's like the times that he gets himself backed into a corner by John Doe, he's behind these bars as well. And it's really fucking interesting. But Somerset never is.
No.
So, and again, I just think, like you say, it's perfectly acted and perfectly shot. I think to
And funny too, because he's like, you ever think like, wow, it's amazing how crazy I really am.
crazy. I really am.
It's really funny. You're
just
you're
really
a fucking
thinks-
T-shirt, a movie of the week at best. You know,
You're a movie of the week. You're a fucking T-shirt. I'm gonna start saying that to people. I'm gonna start calling people a fucking T-shirt because I feel like it's such. It might be my favorite line of this whole movie.
Kevin Spacey's one of the best to ever do it, and he's on such a roll here. By the way, Usual Suspects comes in like 2-3 weeks, so stay tuned for that. But this man, no one else could have done this.
Mm-hmm.
The way he goes through all the different types of emotions, and like he's so confident, but then there are times when he's caught off guard a little bit. He's a little more emotional about it. He's so proud, he's happy, but he's like methodical about it. I just like, this is the first time I think I really saw Kevin Spacey and was like, oh my God.
yeah, you killed all these innocent people. Innocent? Is that supposed to be a joke?
This is supposed
A
to be
woman.
joke.
A woman.
Yeah,
Like, listen to me.
Yeah,
I've had this speech planned.
a drug dealing pederast, mind you.
Yeah,
Yes.
he will
That
talk.
guy was a
over
terrible
you.
person.
Yeah, like he's gonna talk. Everyone who's like thought about those people has always been like,
Yes.
what is every
Somebody
fucking
should
thing
just go
on
kill those
on fucking
motherfuckers.
Facebook? Good riddance. Fucking have fun in
Yep.
prison.
Yep.
Yeah, now who's gonna be now
Rest in
this?
piss.
Might as well fucking kill him and then throw rest in piss. And like, how often is that? That's the conversation about those people. Well, he went and did it. Are
Yeah.
you excited? Because
This is the reality of it.
you wanted the worst of the worst to happen to that person, and it happened. So, are you happy about it now?
Yeah.
So it's.
Oh man. Yeah. There's so much shit I could say about. I won't.
I know. I know.
Patreon.
Yeah.
Patreon.
We'll do a Patreon because we got a lot more on
I
this.
can't even
Yeah.
say it there, but yeah, you're. Yeah.
Yeah, well.
But yeah, it is. It's just one of those things. And he will not be talked over. When he
Nope.
wants the control, he's going to take the control, whether you like it or not. And he pretty much has it, whether we know it or not, throughout this whole scene.
It's amazing, and they get to the location where the high tension wire, the high tension towers and stuff, and
What
even
a
that
scene and setting.
yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, like this whole movie's been like rainy
Yep.
and dark and grimy,
Not
and
today.
And all of these scenes, especially all the shots of John Doe, are locked off and steady. And now this is bright and sunny. It's like the worst part
some may
of the
say
movie.
that it's like the light at the end of a tunnel for their
Some may.
because they got him. They got their man. Some might say it's the light at the end of the tunnel.
And he wasn't even a choice. He's like, Fincher's like, if I had a choice and it could be rainy and cloudy, then I would have.
I would. He said I would have dumped swimming pools upon them, but we couldn't do it.
But it works so well here because it is the darkest scene of the movie in bright
Beautiful,
daylight.
bright daylight.
Yeah.
Shots of the sun coming from behind them. It's just like, it's a juxtaposition that's just incredible to finish this movie off.
Yeah,
Would you guys, your Mills, are you shooting them?
yeah. There's no way.
I don't know many people, because the right thing to do in the long term is to not shoot him and ruin this entire thing and ruin this guy's life. Because his life, John Doe's life, will be ruined.
All you can do.
David Mills.
No, John Doe. If he does not get killed,
Oh, okay.
John Doe's just like in a spiral.
Or does he, if he doesn't get killed, does he have grounds to stand on saying to plead insanity and go back and like try to fight it in court?
I just don't think so. I think this was the whole big deal. He knew he would never have to plead insanity. He knew this was going to play out this way. 99.9% of people would do exactly what Mills does. I would have gone further. There probably wouldn't have been anything left of him.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't even shot him. I would have just beat him to death.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, I would just you would just you start on next time, Mills. You start on the limbs. You start creating some pain, all right, and then you kill him. Okay, take a note from John Doe. So
And do you think
And AJ Vance.
Yeah. Does Mills go to prison for this?
I think no.
I think no.
I think they get him off.
I think he has to live in his own prison.
Well, yeah.
My own
There's actually a
prison.
theory, because there's been a lot of origin stories for the Joker in Batman, but there's the thought that this sends Mills into Joker territory. Because, like, what else are you going to do?
Super villain.
Yeah. Pissed off about society. Society let this happen to him and his wife.
Yeah. And that's the hard part of it, I think. But the captain says, we'll take care of him. Like, basically.
Well,
it's like the dad. It's like that dad that killed the guy that, like, raped and tortured and sexually assaulted his kid.
does the one shot.
And he kills him. Like, I think he went to prison for a month.
No.
Everybody's like,
I mean,
a jury's not really going to be like, he murdered a man.
Yeah.
But still, this is the first time I ever thought, oh, shit, like, there's possibility. He's at least going to prison for now.
I mean, there's like
for custody.
I mean, they think he'll spend some time, but yeah, like that guy, probably even maybe a month, maybe not, because he's a cop, you know?
Right.
And
they have the wires, though. They were wearing wires
that were not working. Because of the high tension wires,
but they also had the helicopter around, and they even say in the thing is like, he shot him. Oh shit! They saw
somebody.
it.
Somebody call somebody.
So somebody call somebody. Yeah.
California, stay away. California, stay away. You hear?
John Doe has the upper hand now.
Yeah.
The whole lead up is so fucking good. By the way, the doctor from Fight Club's the delivery guy.
Oh yeah, that's him.
Yeah, one of the Arquettes.
Go down to the cancer survivor ward. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but he opens up the box, and I love his reaction because it's just like, and it's not like, oh my god. It's just like he's seeing the cut off head of a person that he knows that's like been the light of the movie. You know, doesn't know her that well, but he knows her. You know, he's the only one that knows she's pregnant, so he probably knows her better than anybody else. But it's such a good performance by him, and I love that the run to Brad Pitt or the run to Mills, and he's like, throw the fucking gun down, dude. Like, he's like, what's going on over there? What's going on? It's just so I'm like describing it, and I'm like sweating because I'm just like, oh my god, like
yeah.
And Brad Pitt's performance, I don't know if anyone else could have done this too.
Yeah,
this is so unbelievably believable of the way he's like, oh god, like, because he understands that, like, yeah, I'm completing this if I do this.
Sylvester Stallone was offered this role. Imagine Sylvester Stallone at the end of this movie. Yeah, what's in the box? Oh god. Oh god.
Oh, darn it.
Oh, dang it. My pause. Dramatic pause.
Yep.
Anyways, no, this is kind of building my idea of Somerset and everything, and it's the idea that first, at one point, John Doe does say, like, I know you, you know, and so maybe even if it wasn't this time around, maybe he gave him information at another time, but then in the end, he says he's going and John Doe is talking, and he says she begged for her life. And he says, shut up. And he says, for the life of the baby. And he says, shut up, because it's like he knows where he's going with it, and he doesn't want him to say it. It's just like, how have they not had a conversation somehow in passing? I'm sorry.
No, you're 100% wrong in every way.
Is time getting away from us again, Mike?
No, I just there's not a way I think you can convince me that Somerset had anything to do with it.
No. I'm not saying he was in on it. I'm saying that he unknowingly provided. He wouldn't have,
but that would be under the understanding that the specific question asked to him was, give me the address of your new detective. And I just don't think he would do that.
No.
Like, oh, can you give me the location of some murder that just happened? I'd really love to get down to the crime scene before the rest of the press gets there.
He says Mills. He gives him his name.
Well, yeah, of course.
I'm not saying he gave him the information on Mills. I'm saying he gave him the it's like he went and paid for information to know when they were going to do something, or, you know, when they were going to be there, what was going. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'll never get this one through.
Nope.
I'm gonna fight for
13 months.
Don't worry. I've been racking on the thing for how long? I got time, baby.
All right.
Let's go.
We'll come back with something that we can handle.
All right.
I don't know.
Don't want to believe it.
As Somerset and fucking it being played by Morgan Freeman, I just don't think that even he would sign on to anything like that. I mean, like, I think it's an interesting theory for sure, but I just don't think that's what's going on. I think, like I said,
another cop in the precinct.
I think, like I said, in a way, he is one of the reasons that this happens to Mills and Tracy,
right?
For sure.
Yeah,
because he's involved in it, but
because he's good enough at his job and cares enough that it pushed John Doe to this point of like,
exactly. And did you hear about the alternate endings that was going to happen?
Somerset was going to step in to kill him on Mills' behalf so that Mills wouldn't go to prison.
One of the compromises they had for the studio to not have the head in the box.
And Pitt and Freeman said, "Go fuck yourself.
Yep.
We will do nothing to help you in this movie."
Well, Pitt, they read it. They did a table reading of it, and Pitt was like, "I wouldn't ever fucking do that. I would never allow that to happen. He would be dead in a fucking minute."
Yes, and everyone else is like, "Yeah, I agree."
Yeah. And the dog head in the box was another option. And it's just like this, you guys, you need to just let artists do what they're going to do. And this is like one of the most famous endings of all fucking time.
Yeah.
And
we almost didn't
have it because stupid fucking producers were just like, oh, we need people to pay money to see this bummer movie, guys. Like, well, bummer movies can just sometimes be fucking bummer movies, okay? And David Fincher also wanted it to end right as he shot him. Credits.
Oh, yeah.
I'm okay with that. Imagine it ending there. I'm fine with that. It wouldn't have affected my life. The whole going back to Somerset being like, well, I'm actually going to keep working, I think. It's fine.
But saying it without saying it.
It's fine. And it takes nothing away from this movie. But if it was never there, I'd still be like, fuck.
I think I disagree. I think I do need this.
Okay.
This was also the compromise of them getting their way with the head in the box is having this tag at the end.
And that's fine.
I really prefer this because that quote is so good.
Yeah.
Right.
As much as it is one way of not getting the head in the box finish idea, it is the opposite way of letting it cut to black on the final gunshot or something, right? It's just so far the opposite way of like, and you've got to be somewhere. That's not good. That's not good. I think that you're right. I agree with you, Sean. Like in the sense of like, I wanted that too.
Right.
Yeah,
I wanted something there,
some sort of levity.
Yeah,
because it is such a grimy bummer, and I think that lends to Fincher as a director and a person himself is because his movies he's not a very hopeful person, I don't think.
He's a bleak man.
There is a quote of him saying that like I think people are perverts.
And
then it's like it lingers on him. He just smiles to the camera. Like, yeah, you're right. I think that's his career in a nutshell and how he treats his characters. But yeah, this last line is my favorite of all time. I think.
Yeah.
Ernest Hemingway once said, "The Earth is a fine place and worth fighting for." I agree with the second part.
Yep.
Perfect ending.
Yep.
I think that was what we deserved to have at the end of it. Yeah.
Well, anything else you guys want to say about this movie?
So much more, yeah. But
Patreon for Patreon.
If you're not on our Patreon, we'll roll a little bonus episode for you. Come join us over there. Patreon.com/ConfusedBreakfast. We've dissected it with a modern day eye. Time to give it a modern day rating. Sean, it's your turn, man. What do you think?
It's a masterpiece. I love this movie so much. Just everything I said about it. I will say just quickly, I guess, the only flaw that I do have of it is a lot of Brad Pitt's lines are 80 yard, especially in the car ride with John Doe to the desert, and it takes me out of it. It takes me out of the movie a little bit. Like, so some technical things here and there kind of bother me. Nothing to do with the story, nothing to do with the acting. I think it's all perfect and one of the best crime thriller horror movies of all time. This is a capital H horror movie in my opinion. And I'm going to go a 9.7 on this.
9.7. AJ, what about you?
First time really getting to watch the movie, and I ended up watching it like 5 or 6 times, guys. So, crime thrillers will always have a special place for me. Like always, especially when there's plenty of mystery, when you're leaving things, leaving things for the audience to find. You're not spoon feeding. I really do think that the movie is awesome. I like the flaws that I have with it. that I find with it for myself are sometimes like I can see the point when I want to stop rewatching this movie very clearly, because there is a I feel like there's a finite point where I can't really dissect anything else, and as much as there is to go off of, I just think that the movie, it's a damn near perfect story, and even with the unfortunate ending, I think David Fincher directs a hell of a movie. I think that these performances are phenomenal. I think it's some of the best work between Kevin Spacey and Freeman, Morgan Freeman. And I think, it's up there for Brad Pitt. I go back and forth on his performance, and it's gritty, it's grimy. The opening credit scene is just a perfect lead in. I think it sparked so much for like scary stuff to happen again, scary TV shows and shit. There's so much. I think this is a movie that walked so others could run, but it was kind of walking at a pretty damn fast pace. That being said, I do think it's a wonderful movie. I think it's insane. It's shocking. And I will go as far as giving it a 9.1.
Damn.
AJ, for the reference, I think you have to talk about this movie with Silence of the Lambs. You gave it the same score as Silence of the Lambs.
Okay.
Sean, you actually went 0.1 higher.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 0.2 lower than Silence of the Lambs. I think they are so close. They're two of the greatest movies ever made, where you're combining horror moments with thriller, with whodunit. It's such a perfect genre, and I like this movie now more than I ever have, because I've fallen more into the cynical side of life and having kids and knowing what you would do to protect your family, and like moving my family to a place like this for a job's like something I would never do. But man, these actors are at the peak of their careers at this point. They're some of the best roles they've ever played. This movie is so amazing. I'm giving it a 9.1 as well.
Fuck yeah.
We do need to see what NicMad says. He says, I always remembered Se7en as a personally disappointing film, which I'm sure now was the result of overhype. Upon rewatch nearly 20 years later, I found myself captivated by David Fincher's take on noir crime, and found my appreciation had grown for all the subtle details that made this 90s thriller so beloved all along. I really respect and appreciate Fincher's decision to keep the suspect anonymous and a true mystery until the third act, even going so far as to leave Spacey's name out of the opening credits. The various city settings also complement the gothic atmosphere, from empty libraries to dimly lit apartments. The stark contrast between Agent Somerset's trench coat wearing, calculated demeanor and Agent Mills' Act Now Ambition is a prime example of a director bridging genres, mixing classic crime noir with a more stylized cop drama. Pays off brilliantly. The result is smart serial killer mystery that left me on the edge of my seat. This would make an excellent TV series, and I'm thankful I gave it a second chance. Modern day rating 7.7. That takes us as a group to an 8.9, which is going to take this pretty high, fellas. This is going to tie in the 13th spot with Heat. We do think that Silence of the Lambs is slightly better. We think Shaun of the Dead is slightly better. But we think that this is slightly better than Fight Club, Reservoir Dogs, and The Shining, actually. So, it is right in there, guys.
Wow.
Right in that company.
Incredible stuff. Hell yeah.
Well, thanks for being here, everybody. We appreciate you. Tune in next week. We start off a month of movies we are thankful for, starting with Go from 1999, followed by Rambo First Blood. And if you're new to this episode, go back this time last year, Nightmare on Elm Street. We had a very fun time with that one. And we know you're watching it already for Halloween season, so listen to our episode.
Hell yeah. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy times.
Thanks to Logan on the controls here at Upload Media Group. Learn more at uploadmediagroup.com. And check out our network, Cloud10, cloud10.fm. Thanks to all our sponsors. We love you so much. Goodbye.
Bye.
Gotta pee so bad.
No, run, go pee.
It's worth fighting for.
Time.